Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to whatever episode number this is of the BXR Podcast. You know, we got another banger here. The full cast has re-arrived. Luke is here, ready to eat his food during the podcast, as is tradition. And BHB fixed his camera in the nick of time, so he was almost going to be a key the whole time, but we're good. He's solid. We're ready to go. So, before we get too deep into anything, you guys just want to say hello?
Hello.
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 Perfect.
Whoa.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll start it out like we always do. Hold on. People are saying the stream on YouTube is dead. Let me.
Oh,
Give me a sec. All right, hold on. Give me a sec. Never mind, I lied. August. God damn it, August. All right, he lied to me. Okay. All right. Anyways, we're continuing on. We'll just restart. You know. All right. Hello. Welcome to the BXR Podcast. It's gonna be a banger. That's the abridged version of the intro because I don't remember what I said last time. But we'll start off kind of like we always do. So, talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing since last time everyone graced the presence of the stream. So why don't you start, Jared? You can tell everyone what you've been up to.
Well, I haven't been really doing too much. I found this indie game called Exome. And if you're a fan of like Alien vs. Predator, you know, those kind of movies and games, it's basically like that. It's a survival game where you get dumped off in a canyon and you have to look for these lost researchers. And you do this by like finding little clues in these data pads, and you collect like materials and stuff, and then there's these little circles you stand on to summon waves of aliens you have to defend against, and when you kill them, you get more materials, and basically that's what you do. You run around this canyon, you kill aliens, you step on these circles, and then a big circle in the middle of the map activates, and a giant alien comes out, and then the game ends because it's in early access. So obviously you don't get to play the really cool shit, but it's a really solid survival game, and it's made by one guy in Unreal Engine 5, and he's been doing a really good job with it. Controls are tight, and the gameplay is fun. I haven't tried it in co-op yet. I think it'd be fun in 4-player co-op, because I feel like it's really designed for that, but that's pretty much what I've been doing. Outside of that, just the usual stuff, Final Fantasy and so on, and no Halo, surprisingly, so that's pretty nice.
Is that surprising?
Well, no,
Dude,
it's not.
even I played some Halo in the past couple weeks, so.
Oh, wait. Can we talk about that? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just take over. Here's what I've been playing. I've been playing Warhammer Darktide with Arash. His game kept crashing because he runs Windows 11 for some reason. So he mauled it so hard that he hopped on Halo Infinite, and it made him even more mad. So he hopped back on Darktide until it crashed again. So I don't know, dude. That's what I've been playing. Also, we played Ironside.
I can't actually confirm that happened. Yeah, Darktide, dude. It seems really fun. It's like a Left 4 Dead style game, but it seems like it would.
Setting's amazing.
Yeah, it seems like it would be pretty fun if it would fucking work on my PC. But me and Luke played for maybe an hour and a half, and I no joke crashed 7 times. I don't think I finished a single mission. So.
Well, after you rejoined, I think you did. Yeah.
Maybe. You're right. Maybe we finished like a mission, but yeah, I don't know. It seems like it'd be a lot of fun, but unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to play too much of it. I didn't really force Luke, but me and Luke played some Iron Sight last night, which it's a game, you know. It's a little COD ripoff from like 3 or 4 years ago.
Some people love that game.
Yeah,
I've never played it.
It's not bad.
It's not the worst Call of Duty knockoff I've ever played. I gotta say that.
Yeah, it's free to play Black Ops 2 with a ton of free to play mechanics. So if you are all right with having to repair your guns and all that jazz, the gameplay itself is pretty solid though. So it's not too bad. I'm trying to think what else I played in the past couple weeks. Oh, I finally started High on Life.
So good.
That's entertaining.
So okay, it's not a bad game by any means, but I do see why it kind of had like mixed reviews, because I think the gameplay is pretty average, and so if the writing doesn't hit for you, then the game is kind of like whatever, you know. But if you're into that writing style, then the game is probably like a ton of fun, right? So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I've been playing it, and like I feel like it's a game that you're playing. You're not really playing it for the gameplay or the mechanics of it. You're playing for just more the experience of it. And if you, like I said, like the writing carries it hard, I would say. Like the gameplay is like, it's actually very classic arcadey kind of gameplay. Like, you kill a dude, he drops like shields, you pick up the shields kind of thing. Like it's really nothing revolutionary. It just kind of, the visuals on it were good. The writing on it, I find it's hilarious. And so then like that just really helps carry the experience where it's like a game I can recommend for people. But it's like, yeah, if the writing's not your style, then like, yeah, you wouldn't really be having much fun with it.
yeah, I do have to imagine it probably doesn't have much replayability. Obviously, I haven't beat it yet, but I feel like by the time I get through it, I'll get my fill of all of the lines and whatnot. And I don't really think I'll have a huge desire to play back through it, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there are like choices you make during the campaign, but I don't think they really matter. They're mostly just for like conversation.
They just switch up some points in the story, but they don't really add to the overall, theme of the game, or however you want to put it. The overarching story. It doesn't affect the ending.
Is it bad that I can't get over it just sounding like Rick and Morty? Like I just can't.
I mean, yeah, the same people.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but like I could never get into Rick and Morty, so like I don't think I could get into this game. I don't know why.
Personally can't you can get Rick and Morty, you wouldn't like the game then.
Yeah, for sure.
Fair.
Yeah, if Rick and Morty isn't your jam, you should not be playing High on Life because it's the same deal, dude. I wish they had done more with that starting thing though. The little like retro shooter thing that you play at the very start. It wasn't that good, but it was kind of cool.
I mean, what was the guy's name, like Buck something? It's like, Buck Awesome, like, I'm your divorce attorney and your wife's fucking all the aliens. I just find out.
Can I get that game?
It was hilarious.
I want to play that game. That game seems great.
But so that's High on Life. Luke already talked about it. I've been playing Darktide. Well, I don't even know. I tried to play Darktide. Doesn't really work, but seems fun. Although I feel like a lot of people, when I said I'd been playing Darktide, just told me to play what's the game, Luke? The other co-op game that people Deep Sea.
The dwarf game.
Yeah, Deep Rock Galactic.
That's a little older, but yeah.
So maybe I'll just go try and play that instead.
Yeah, I'll play it with you.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's really much else I played the past week. Like I said, I did play a little Infinite. And I didn't really. It was Infinite, and then I got off after I think about 2 games. So it's still doing it for me. It's popping off as it always did. What have you been playing, Pop Q?
Well, I haven't been playing much because recently I was just really sick. I don't know what the fuck I had, but that was probably the sickest I've ever been. But I'm over it now, and I've been playing a little bit of MCC, but it's not really doing it for me. I just recently went on a spree of buying games on Steam for the winter sale. A lot of single player games that I plan on playing, probably streaming, and probably making content around that. So there's a lot of single player games that I'm going to be playing.
Yeah, that's my goal this year, is to play some more single player games than I usually do. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it didn't really seem like it since I only played 2 things, but playing 2 things for me in a week is actually quite the accomplishment. Before, I would just spam the same multiplayer game for months on end. I have still been playing a little bit of Warzone and MW2. Kind of super late at night after I finish. I'll edit some shorts and I'll be like, I should probably go to bed. It's 2 a.m. and then I play Warzone for an hour by myself. I actually won a game earlier with some randoms, so that was that was the first time for me. I've never won with random people before, but they were common in game, and we didn't even realize we were about to win. It was some, I don't know, one of my teammates was off pushing someone and they died. And then I killed the person that killed them, and then we won. And I was like, "Oh, sick, dude!" Didn't even realize I was the last squad. So, but yeah, I've actually been playing a ton of the mini Warzone trios, which is the mode where the circle is a lot smaller, and I kind of like it because when you play that instead of playing regular Warzone, I feel like since it's so much quicker and there's less time to loot and there's less locations to loot and like the time between fights is a lot quicker, less people just have their loadouts, so you aren't just fighting 1,000 people using the RPK and the Fennec, which is kind of fun. Because otherwise, I feel like when I play regular Warzone, every single game is just people killing me with the RPK late game, and I don't know. I mean, I also buy the RPK, so I guess I'm part of the problem. But I feel like it just gets a little boring.
Just be better.
I mean, it's the best gun in the game. So
no, it is.
I mean...
No, that's what I'm saying. But I feel like BRs are more fun when everyone's not just using the same exact setup. You know, like
I agree. Because I feel like there's like a bit of randomness that kind of comes from just like whatever you find on the loot on the ground. Kind of thing. It's like part of the appeal. I feel like when it comes to a battle royale.
yeah.
And if everyone's just running the same exact setup, then it's just kind of monotonous and not as fun as it could be, kind of thing. That's why when they like, oh yeah, we cut the price of everything in half. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, and I get like loadouts are kind of what makes Warzone its own thing, but I think Warzone is more fun when there isn't a defined meta. Like the start of Warzone was really fun when people were buying just random shit, like everyone was using different guns. But as like the meta's gotten more defined, I just feel like we're toward the end of this meta. Like I'm ready for a balance change when they like switch it up a bit, because then it'll like people will be testing stuff out again, which will be kind of fun. But
yeah, I'm sure season 2 things will be mixed up quite a bit, especially with the RPK and Fennec.
Yeah, I have to imagine they probably try and hit those somehow. I would hope, or buff other stuff.
Because they actually update their game, which is crazy.
They do. Although, if you asked Warzone people, I think they would say they don't update it enough. So,
True.
I think that's about all I've been playing. And no, I don't think there's been much else. Kind of move on to gaming news, unless anyone had anything else. Is there any games coming up soon that we're super excited for?
Dead Space remake.
You got the
Dead Space remake.
Yeah.
And the Hogwarts game, but don't talk about that too much because people might attack you over it.
Dude,
Because
okay.
apparently,
People
if you
attacking you over
support
it.
Hogwarts,
Yeah.
you're
So,
you know.
dude,
Oh,
I'm gonna maybe I'll get canceled for this, but I don't get that at all. Because like
It's Twitter users.
the people that make that game have no fucking relation to J.K. Rowling, or however the fuck you say her name.
and she's not involved with the project at all. Either.
Yeah, like
and
other
she's
than-
getting money from it. Don't you
other than-
understand?
well, she probably
The
gets money
thousands
from
of
fucking
other
everything.
people
Yeah.
don't matter, dude. She's getting like a couple dollars.
Yeah,
she's,
the devs
she's
have
rich
to
as fuck. You
support
probably
their
could live the rest of her
families
life.
doing their job, you know.
Dude, I don't know.
think they
Like,
should be
what do people
supported.
expect from J.K. Rowling? She was literally some crazy white lady that was homeless before she wrote some fucking book for 9-year-olds. Why the fuck does anyone give a shit about her fucking opinion on any fucking like earthly fucking interaction or anything? Like,
I agree with that. When it comes to just saying,
she's just a crazy homeless lady that wrote a fucking bestseller. Yeah, fucking ignore her. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, and that's the thing. You could love Harry Potter and not agree with what she says. Like these two things can be true at the same time. Like it's not a big deal. It's okay to support something and not like something else or not agree with something else.
I mean,
even if they're
there's
related.
thousands of people that worked on this game and the movies and everything, right? She's just one person in this. Like, there's probably like, I don't know, like thousands and thousands of people that worked on the Harry Potter franchise over the years, considering like everything, movies, games, merchandise, fucking theme parks, like, you know, she's just one person out of that. So like, I don't know. Fuck her though.
Make sure you can't buy anything from Warner Brothers, so that's like 80% of media you can't touch, and anything from the movies, can't look at them. Just like it's like I understand like trying to support like something where like you don't want to support that behavior, but it's just like she's moving more and more away from it anyways, and then like she's just one person that has shitty opinions, and I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like you're not stopping it from happening by not buying it or not engaging with it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I will also say,
I don't even like Harry Potter that much, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
it's
man.
kind of. It was something when I was young was cool, but now it's like I don't give a shit anymore.
I also feel like
anyways,
this is,
fuck her though.
Yeah, I also feel like this is like Twitter ecosphere type of stuff.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
Honestly,
this
Twitter
game
is
this game will come out and do perfectly fine. Like I don't think the people that are like saying they're gonna boycott it because of her even will make an impact. And maybe that's a good or bad thing. I don't know, but It feels like one of those things that's just overblown by like really vocal people on Twitter, but your average person, I mean, Harry Potter's still fucking huge, so clearly it's done nothing anyways, right? So I don't know.
Well, I'm sure those same people don't do anything with EA, don't play any games from EA, they don't play any games from Blizzard or Activision. They only play like random indie platformers. I'm sure it's the only thing that they play or interact with.
I do.
Right, no. They play random indie platformers, and they have to have a connection with every single dev to make sure this dude has never done anything wrong, has never said some stupid fucking shit. So, and that's the only frugal way to play games, I think. Like, honestly, you got to make sure you know everyone.
There should
I
be
think
like
a
a
background check of all the devs.
Yeah.
dude. There should be like
That's why I like Stardew Valley, dude. I did a background check on the dude that made it as a single dude. That's all I play, Stardew Valley.
dude. There's Jason Schreier actually wrote like a book about like I don't know game development, and Stardew Valley is Stardew Valley is one of them, and it's actually like a fucking crazy story. Like this dude just quit his job and was like living with his girlfriend and just was, I think I'm just gonna go all in on this. And then just fucking worked.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, fucking well played, dude. And he's like, I can't remember how much he made, but like millions upon millions of dollars. But
I mean, my wife is like addicted to that game. She loves it. She like put like 100 hours into the game within like a month.
It's such a good game.
Yeah,
like,
super good game.
The thing is, it fulfills, like, Animal Crossing is a huge fucking franchise, even though Nintendo doesn't put it out, right? It's like a top seller on the Switch. Harvest Moon was popular, hasn't been as popular, but like that concept is kind of Animal Crossing-ish. Like it's Animal Crossing with farms. And Stardew Valley just like combines all that, right? It has like recognizable villagers and like, you know, you have your own little farm, you have a path to upgrade your house and stuff. And so like, I don't know, Stardew Valley is just like a niche, like, or it filled a void, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely filled a gap where like people had wanted that style of game back, and you know,
Animal Crossing could easily be that, but Nintendo doesn't make fucking. They'd rather make like 2 more Splatoons than make a new Animal Crossing, even though it's like the fucking best seller.
Splatoon 3 won multiplayer game of the year, Luke. Okay,
yeah,
respect it.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Respect the platoon.
Yeah, respect that shit. Fuck, I was gonna say something now. I totally forgot. Whatever. Okay. Anyways, that's games coming up. Why don't we can move into the news a little bit here. So obviously, BK said it won shooter of the year. My bad.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I figured, you know, we still got to talk about Halo here. So first thing we could talk about is HCS put out their like year 2 roadmap dealy, which, you know, it's some stuff. So if you guys saw this, basically they're kind of revamping the map pool here for year 2. They added in the pit in Argyle, I guess officially, and they took out Bazaar and Catalyst. And then they're also doing some balance changes. Finally, they're finally removing all of the GA'd weapons off of the maps. Along with
Only took a year. That's great.
What? They can do that? Wow, guys!
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's almost like there was just like a fucking or like a fucking little switch had to flip. It took them a while. That's okay. The small indie studio.
Yeah, I mean that's the gist of these. Eventually, they're doing some balance updates for some different guns, but like that shit's forever from now, so I don't even know if it's worth talking about. It says like the soonest they could release is season 3, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, on one hand, like it's nice they finally did something, but I don't know. It's not like an overly beefy update in my opinion. What do you guys think?
It's an update that's going to ruin the game, don't you know? Because the pros are getting their way and the casuals are going to suffer from this update because none of the weapons will be viable now. It's going to be a BR meta.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the facts.
Just the facts.
Wanting anyways.
So like they're removing the mangler, right? That's one of the weapons.
Yeah.
Finally,
so
though.
Basically,
Mangler,
they
sword.
changed the mangler, and now they're removing the mangler from competitive.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
they're going
onto
to bring it
something.
back with new changes.
So they could have left it the
Eventually.
way it was. Casuals would have been happy, and they could have removed it for okay. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm just so
Don't
detached
think
from that
about it.
game. I really just don't care
But I
anymore.
really don't care.
Aren't they
None of-
removing
here's
the
the
pulse
thing.
carbine too?
Yeah, they are.
here's the thing: none of these changes are gonna matter. Like, it doesn't matter. The fucking 2,000 players or whatever, 10,000 players, whatever, are just gonna play the game the same way because like it doesn't matter. If they're still stuck around, like all these changes don't matter, and it's not gonna attract new people. No.
No.
Like, who's coming back because they they removed
Yeah, right.
weapons from ranked? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's a nice change, I guess, but it only matters. I don't know. It just doesn't matter. The game is just so dead. It doesn't matter to me.
You can't say that about every update. Like, oh yeah, you removed the map. Is that gonna bring people back? Like, well, no, but it's gonna help.
No, but I'm just saying it's meaningless. They should not work on this game anymore. It's my opinion. They should just move on. Like, it's dead.
Drop it.
It's not coming
People
back.
were
Yeah, I don't
mad
know.
about free for all going away too. Like, it was probably a really dead playlist, let's be honest. But I seen so many tweets like, "Oh, I can't believe they got rid of free for all. That was my favorite playlist." Well, that's the problem though. You and 20 other people played it probably.
I feel like people do that about anything. Like, even if the playlist is dead. Like, I remember them getting rid of, like, taking away, like, Halo 2 Classic playlist in MCC. Like, the playlist was dead, and then people still had a problem when they, like, removed it and replaced it with something else.
And then people make up that catch-22 argument, like, well, people don't play because it's not like a permanent playlist kind of thing.
But hey, to be fair, if the player base keeps going down, you might as well just leave all the playlists up. If you got to search 30 minutes anyways in any other playlist, you might as well have them all.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a population. I mean, so this is it all comes down to, like, so 343, they did the same shit with, like, MCC when Reach dropped on PC, right? They put out one ranked playlist, and then the numbers start to dwindle, and then they add in more playlists, and then no one plays the other playlists because all the players are gone, and then just, like, it's just like, then they just continually try to rotate ranked playlists to try and keep something alive. And it's like, I mean, I don't think having more ranked playlists at the start of Infinite would have saved the game or anything, but, like, if you were going to have Team Slayer or Free-for-All or doubles, you should have had it when the game had a bunch of players, not when it was struggling for a player base.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, I see it so many times in the comments of people on my videos going like, "Oh, ranked Team Slayer needs to be there." I'm like, yeah, like maybe like that'd be like the one place I could see being ranked, but like honestly, like I've been saying it since even before the release of Infinite, I think there really should just be one ranked playlist, and that'd just be like the one that mirrors like the competitive settings, and everything else just be social, and just focus on the social side of things because that's what majority of people play.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the standard for all games. You got the one ranked playlist that's official, and then you have the social mode, which in social, this is why you need a match composer. So it doesn't matter if a game type dies, because you can still search it while searching this game type, or search everything, you know? I mean, MW2 does this even. I'm like, why doesn't Halo let me search all playlists at once? Like, this seems like a good idea.
Yeah, I know a lot of games do the one ranked playlist, but I think the multiple ranked playlist in Halo is something that, you know, was special about Halo. I mean, you had variety. I mean, that's like Halo's strongest attribute: variety, different modes, different playlists and stuff like that. So I'm in favor of multiple ranked playlists. Your snipes, your doubles, your Team Slayer, and having all those ranked playlists isn't a problem when your game is populated. But in Infinite's case, ain't gonna work.
Yeah, to me, the only thing that's kind of funny is clearly there's been, I mean, just like every 343 thing, like the motto shift must be like, it's always like this, and then it has to just like 180. Because in Halo 5, they had so many ranked playlists, and everything was ranked at one point, and then Infinite rolls around, and it's like literally 150 or 180, and it's like you could have like hit the middle ground there. Like, you didn't have to have, like, Fiesta didn't need to be ranked in Infinite, but you could have had Team Slayer and Team Doubles and stuff that people actually cared about. But I don't know, whatever. I guess I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. That's, as much as people will comment it like Team Slayer needs to be a ranked playlist, I really don't think at the end of the day that's really why the game has issues. Like, you could add
it's
in
not going to revive the game.
Yeah, you could have
had
all the ranked
a Halo game should have a ranked Team Slayer playlist. I mean, it's been there since Halo 2.
I mean, it's
a
always
lot
been
better to play Team Slayer by yourself than it is to play Objective by yourself.
Yeah. Well, actually,
With
you know what's funny about that is even. So, like, in the past, it was always the most popular playlist. Like, H3, Team Slayer ranked playlists was always the most popular. And then, like, Social Slayer was right behind it, right? And so, like, even in H5, I saw who was the matchmaking guy, like Josh Menke or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw him tweeting about how in H5 the Slayer playlist was more popular than Team Arena, but for whatever reason, 343 wants to force people to play HCS settings. So I don't know. I think I think Infinite would probably benefit from having ranked settings that aren't just the HCS settings, because not everyone wants to like. Not that I love AR sidekick spawns or anything like that, but I bet there's people that would play ranked like social Slayer settings that will never touch the ranked in there.
It always has been. Mm-hmm.
So
I would say like that would be the one place I would say people want to play ranked, but we'll see like if it actually brings new people or if it just takes people from ranked HCS settings modes into ranked Slayer instead and just makes the search times even worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's always gonna be the problem is search times. So unfortunate.
Yeah, with the population like where it is now, yeah, that is always going to be a problem. I mean, and they did do ranked doubles at one point, right?
Yeah, it's one of the rotational playlists. It comes in and out. So it's doubles, the elimination mode, and free for all. Those three are the ones that rotate. And elimination is 100,000% dead. I don't even know why it rotates back at this point. I don't even think it's playable. And then free for all is also dead as fuck, but maybe there's like 10 people that try to play it. And then doubles probably has like 100 people that play it. So
nice.
Yeah, I do like my ranked free for all though.
I mean, I like ranked free for all too, but when last time I was in the game and I tried to play, I was waiting like 15 minutes to find a match, and I wasn't even at a diamond, and I was like, yeah, this is actually not fun. Like, I'll just go play a different game. But alrighty, well, I think that. Anyone have any other thoughts on specifically year 2 HCS stuff? I've noticed they still haven't put out a roadmap for events. What's going on there? Do we?
I think they said it in January, but that might be like later January or I don't know.
Usually like the roadmap last time.
3 for 3. I mean, usually things with 3 for 3 get delayed, so I just kind of expecting that.
Yeah, I just feel like if you're
trying to figure out what part to put the 10 in.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Are you guys ready for Worlds? I hope it's in a tent again. I want the full H5 experience. I didn't get to experience that in person, so I want to experience that in person at least one time in my life.
Are Worlds always in Seattle?
No.
No. The 2018 and 2022 was yeah.
Well, I guess I don't know if I'll see it in person if it's not in Seattle. I'm not traveling for Halo events. Maybe to Kansas City to visit Arash, but that's about it.
Dude, what if they had
That's more about visiting Arash.
They should have an
If they have it in Omaha, I'll come.
Dude, all right.
But no, in the Midwest, maybe I'll fly visit you, and then we could drive somewhere. But like that's more to visit you.
Dude, Omaha's cheap as fuck. All right, you could probably find the venue.
Omaha wouldn't be the worst. It's like 2 hours from Kansas. Like the people who came to Kansas can come to Omaha.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Omaha's a bigger city than Raleigh, so there you go. It's not like Omaha's small, but Raleigh is on the coast, I guess.
Wouldn't they have to do it in Council Bluffs, like at the convention center?
No, you could.
Is it Omaha Convention Center?
You could do it at the CHI. What do you mean?
Is that a thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I only know the one in Council Bluffs.
Oh, I mean, the CHI has convention center areas, but you could do it there. Maybe it would cost too much, so yeah, you could do it in Council Bluffs also. But anyways, tangentially related to HCS news. They put out the HCS Charlotte stuff, and with that, you can see the list of codes for the different teams, and this basically confirms that Cloud9, G2, and E United are no longer in the game. So, do we have any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Didn't we predict this months ago?
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if more teams leave. So
the question, it's who's going to be left next. That's the real question.
Even less.
So currently there's 7 partner teams. Are they gonna try and pick up an 8th, or is it just just roll 7?
Probably just roll 7, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Probably can't get anyone else.
I couldn't really imagine, unless you're like an organization like G1 or something like that, wanting to try to get into that partner program.
I could see G1
jump
joining.
into Halo. Yeah,
They
definitely put in the effort.
invested, yeah. Other than G1 though, I don't even know who even besides G1, who outside of the partner program even has a team at the moment.
You got like Native Red, I know.
Yeah, you can't partner Native Red though, dude.
No,
no offense to the Native org owner, but like if Native is a partnered team in your esport, dude, just shut it down.
No, it's I mean it's like so we touched on it earlier with like the economy kind of thing shutting down with esports stuff, and then Halo being like kind of down bad. So
yeah, so that is actually a fair point. So we talked about this a little bit off stream. So to be fair to Halo, esports in general is going to be in an extremely rough spot for the next year or two, and Halo also isn't doing too well. So some of these orgs leaving and stuff is semi-related to Halo doing poorly, but it's also just because a lot of these esports orgs are slashing budgets left and right. Like we've seen 100 Thieves and a bunch of the other orgs like cut a bunch of staff. And obviously 100 Thieves wasn't in Halo, but you're going to see that across esports in general as like the economy kind of has a downturn here, and esports is one of it's like one of the first things that marketing budgets cut out is marketing for esports. And since like these orgs don't have proper revenue funds from games really, other than surprisingly Halo actually has one, but a lot of games are still behind the ball on that. So these orgs are basically existing off of VC money and like the little bit of sponsorships they can get, right? So as the sponsorships dry up, crypto was a huge sponsor in the esports space, and that shit's down bad. Like FTX completely fucking is just bankrupt, right? And they were like a huge sponsor for like Riot and TSM and stuff. So you'll see the repercussions of that stuff here, I think, over the next year or so across all of esports. So it's not going to be just Halo that teams drop out of or cut back. So though obviously Halo was probably one of the easiest and first things to cut because it's a game that isn't performing very well. So
yeah, I mean, like we saw like with like Cloud9, like even on their jerseys it said blockchain.com, kind of stuff. So like, yeah, it's not just a Halo thing, but it's a combo of Halo and also like the economy thing and all that kind of stuff. So
yep, for sure. All right, move on to the next news topic a little bit. So recently Kotaku put out an article, and I thought it highlighted greatly the fantastic publisher that is Ubisoft. So in the past 6 months alone, Ubisoft has canceled 7 video games. Now they go to talk about most of them weren't announced, but basically, like, I thought I'd just bring this up, like, what is going on with Ubisoft? So they delayed Skull and Bones. They're canceling games left and right, some that we didn't even know about. But like, dude, it just seems like Ubisoft can't do anything these days. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on that. I just feel like, when was the last time Ubisoft put out something that didn't suck? Like Siege?
I mean, yes, Siege sucked at the beginning too, though. Yeah, Far Cry. Okay, the issue with Siege, with Ubisoft, though, they have like so many studios spread across the world, and like almost like these studios are their own entities. So like, sure, they cancel games, but it seems more like that studio's project is just canceled, and like, I don't know, it's just weird. I mean, the Far Cry games were good. I even think Far Cry 6 was good.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ubisoft goes under in the next 2 years. Like, either they sell to someone else or they just go bankrupt.
I know some franchises that do pretty well for themselves. Like they got like the Just Dance franchise. They
do have Just Dance. Just Dance is still huge for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I guarantee Microsoft would buy them. Obviously, if the Activision Blizzard deal doesn't go through somehow.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I think that's kind of their one way out. But I'm curious to see how much money they're going to lose making Skull and Bones that's been delayed 6 times. I know a lot of people think the game's not going to get released at this point because it could be 2024 now before it comes out. But apparently they have a contract with the Singapore government. They have to release that game. They don't have a choice. It does not matter how bad it is, whether it ends up not being ready, it has to come out. They just have to. It's under contract. Or else they'll just lose everything.
Question: how many studios do you guys think Ubisoft has?
6.
I should know this.
Couldn't even
9?
fathom, I guess.
They have 45 studios.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's why they're canceling 6 projects. Like, sure, that is like probably like 10 studios worth of work, and it's 35 studios working on other shit. I'm just saying they have a massive amount of studios. They kept
that's
acquiring
crazy.
studios in the last like 15 years. So like, and I feel like the Siege team, for example, which I think is Ubisoft Montreal. I'm not 100% sure which one, but like I feel like they're completely detached from anything else Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
So like it almost seems like Ubisoft these like it's like this combination of studios that all have their own like completely unique things, right? So like I don't know, maybe that works out for Ubisoft, and maybe that's why they're able to cancel 6 games and delay Skull and Bones.
Yeah, but
it's
you
insane.
can't forget though. The guy also did say it's not leadership's fault things aren't coming out. It's the developers' fault games aren't coming out right. They need to do a better job if things are going to succeed with
Kinda
Ubisoft,
cheap.
which is just such a
It's kind of
terrible thing to say. It's like, oh yeah, it's not the leadership, it's you guys. I don't know what to tell you. Do a better job or else you're fired.
But I mean, you also got to remember it's a French company, so like worldview might be slightly different for what I mean, how the way they look at like their employees versus like how I don't know, maybe even Microsoft would look at their employees.
What employees?
so yeah, I don't
the
know.
contractors?
Contractors, sorry.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. No, but I meant like Microsoft
No,
doesn't.
no one actually hires
So
anybody
here's the
nowadays.
difference. Ubisoft blames someone. Microsoft doesn't blame anyone. Not management, not the developers. They just don't give a fuck. Just do whatever the fuck. Well, at least Ubisoft blames someone, dude. They blame the wrong people, but at least they like say, yeah, these people. We gotta watch these people.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. All right. That's Ubisoft. I guess on the same we
Real
talked
quick.
Yeah, go.
Who would buy Ubisoft, you guys think?
I mean, it would have to be Microsoft, right? Who else would buy them?
Yeah, they're all
Sony?
about that.
EA maybe?
Yeah, Nintendo?
EA probably.
Nintendo?
Nintendo.
What
They
would
have been doing
Nintendo
shit
do with
with Nintendo.
Ubisoft?
I don't know. Maybe
They-
Nintendo has some
they
big
said
fucking plan to I don't
In
know.
this
Ubisoft
article,
beat my-
they said that Rabbids game like really underperformed.
Yeah, I know that, but
Yeah.
like that is the
But
first time Nintendo has licensed their characters like this in a while.
Yeah.
True.
And I think the Rabbids game too, like it's a really good game. I've played it. It's a great game, and the first one sold really well. But I feel like this is one of those situations where a company gets such a bad rep that a new good game that they sell doesn't actually do well. It doesn't sell well, even though the first one was good. Like I feel like this is one of those situations where that happens. So I mean,
I really enjoyed the first one, and I didn't play the second one. So I think that it just felt under marketed. I like didn't even know it came out until it was out, and then people were like, "Yeah, it's still pretty decent." And then I mean, can you be surprised something undersold if there wasn't marketing behind it? I mean, not
No.
really. So
which they're not very good at that. Let's be honest, unless it's like Far Cry.
yeah, I mean, that's another like Ubisoft thing. I just feel like sometimes their games just come out, and you're like, "Oh, huh, interesting," and then you play it, and you're like,
they do things.
Defiant.
The for Far Cry 6, they did a big thing with Giancarlo Esposito. What is his name? I think that's the name of the actor from Breaking Bad.
"Oh,
The chicken guy from Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? That was
yeah.
big.
I mean, for Far Cry, what, 5 or 6 or whatever?
Far Cry 6. Yeah. That was a big thing that they got like a big actor as the face. But I mean, I think Far Cry and Siege are working for them, and then the
Assassin's
rest.
Creed as well.
yeah."
Yeah, kinda. People did get really tired of the last Assassin's Creed formula, so like now they're
mean-
making some new stuff, right? They announced some weird like, wasn't there like some weird announcement of Assassin's Creed like?
It's supposed to be a live service game now somehow.
Yeah, like a live
Assassin's Creed
service.
Whatever the
thing.
fuck that
Yeah.
means.
Yeah, like some weird fucking thing.
I feel like that could
Yeah.
actually be cool if it's done right, but it also probably won't be done right, and it'll just be really average. So
I just hate Assassin's Creed game. I've always hated them. So I hated
Oh.
Prince of Persia too. So this is
Prince
a
of
deep
Persia was
rooted.
good. All right, fuck off.
This is a deep rooted hate.
Yeah, it feels like
I remember I did Let's Plays when the first Assassin's Creed came out, and like I played the game for 20 minutes. I made one part of my Let's Play, and I'm like, I don't know where to go. I'll just pause it here, and I never went back. It's been 15 years. No.
it's been 15 years.
That's perfect.
I've never played an Assassin's Creed game, but that is one of the games I bought for the winter sale that I do plan on playing.
Did you buy
I
that
only
one
ever
of the?
played 2.
Sorry, go Kevin.
I'll say the only one I ever played was 2. Everything after that, I just, I don't know. I think it's with the yearly releases, which is like, eventually I'll get to whatever new one comes around.
Yeah.
But I just played too much Halo.
Which one did you buy, Mr. Pop?
The first one.
Oh
first
yeah,
one.
yeah. So I think
A remaster?
when I-
Is there a remaster?
I don't think so. I think it's just the version. There's I played like the first handful and then I stopped playing them. But one of the ones on 360, I think it might have been like Brotherhood, had a multiplayer mode that was actually pretty fun.
Yep.
It was like this asymmetrical thing where I don't even know how to describe it. It's been a while, but basically like you'd play as an assassin or like a person trying to not get assassinated, and you'd basically either like be trying to hunt down someone and you'd have like a clue of what they looked like, and you'd have to try and like you'd be on this map that would have a bunch of NPCs and shit, and so you'd have to like look for the person that basically doesn't look like an NPC, and then you'd like kill them, right? Or if you were like hiding, you're trying to like blend in or like hide and not get assassinated. It was kind of fun.
Oh yeah,
I
I remember that.
It was
now.
fun.
Yeah. No, one other single player focused game that actually had a surprisingly really good multiplayer was Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever played that, but that multiplayer was actually like really freaking good. Like it just kind of took that whole like wave defense PvE kind of mode, but then add like classes and different bits of customization you can do with it, and it really expanded on like what you can accomplish with like a Mass Effect game. And I was like fully addicted to it for a long time. Just like the unlock system was just trash because EA was like, well, how do we make money off of unlocks? And that's basically what they did there. But
Classic
yeah,
EA.
but sometimes there are, like, these
Classic.
surprising good little gems out there when it comes to single player focused multiplayer games. Like I remember hearing like Last of Us 1 multiplayer was actually pretty good for
Yeah.
it for
Not
what
bad.
it was, you know.
And then they cut it out and resold the game for $10 more.
Yep.
Oh, it's not in the remake. The
I
multiplayer.
mean, the
No,
Mass
not
Effect
bad.
multiplayer is not in the remake
And
either,
it's more-
so
Yeah, it's $70, not 60.
That's so
So-
fucking
So
stupid.
cut features and is more expensive.
that's
Great
A,
value.
that's a that is great.
You're
That's-
paying for
that
the
is great to say.
Texture
accessibility now.
resolution. That's
Yeah,
at
they
least
got
an
the
extra $10.
textures, guys. Which was way more work than making the original game, which they sold for $60. Obviously.
But you know, that's a good way to put it. It's not textures, it's taxtures because you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
my.
Jeez.
All right.
Can we just ban Jared for a bit? Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, come
goodbye.
on.
All right, so I figured now we went off topic a little bit, but on like you brought up fucking Microsoft. I don't know if you guys saw this, but like Google and Nvidia now are like expressing concerns to the FTC about the Microsoft deal. Dude, this shit's never going away. Like I don't think this fucking deal's ever gonna go through. Like I don't know. It just
Well, it's gonna be like one of the biggest acquisitions like of all time, right? Like 75 billion dollars. Like that's
69.
a good chunk.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think I tweeted this once. I don't think I actually care if Microsoft can buy Activision. I just want the fucking like this whole story to go away. I either want it to not happen or it to happen. Like, just
Yeah, right.
come back in a
Like-
couple years when you guys are done suing.
I want it to not happen so I could see what Microsoft does to retaliate not
Yeah.
being able to buy them. What they all buy after that, like exclusive deals and stuff. I feel like they'll just go on a war-torn path
You go, yeah,
just to
well,
prove a point.
Halo Infinite's now double exclusive. What you gonna do about that now, E EA?
I feel like the only thing that has me like semi excited is the hope that maybe Microsoft would bring back some of the plethora of IP that Activision just like sits on and never uses because all they make is fucking Call of Duty. But I don't know because
Bring
there's
back
some.
Oddworld.
What's up?
Bring back Oddworld or something.
Yeah,
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, the game was cool. But yeah, like I feel like there's so much cool IP that Activision has that they do absolutely nothing with because it doesn't print money like Call of Duty does or fucking Candy Crush. Yeah, MLG is under the Activision umbrella, but I don't know what the fuck Microsoft would do with that. Probably nothing.
They should bring back Guitar Hero, actually.
Dude, fuck, Rock Band? Was Rock Band also Activision? Were they all?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so actually.
But Rock Band sucked. I'm a Guitar Hero.
Whoa! Rock Band was good.
Rock
Guitar Hero-
dude.
Dude, that's for
Way
people that
better.
use real instruments. I fucking wanna fucking play on the plastic thing. I'm not some nerd, dude.
I don't know. I think you are a nerd, to be honest.
No, but imagine they brought back a proper Guitar Hero. Like people would buy it if it was like some shitty fucking live service thing.
I
Like
don't
the
know.
last
I'm
one.
gonna be honest. I think Guitar Hero and all those games were like it was of the time. Like I think there's a reason they fizzled out.
No,
they
because
didn't,
they started.
they
no,
didn't
they-
stop making them. Like they kept fucking pushing those things.
Kind of.
I guess compared to back then, with how strict copyright and stuff is now, good luck making content on it now. You're probably gonna get everything demonetized and flagged and struck down. Like that'd be a headache.
Yeah,
That's basically why, like, also, you never see anybody making content on like those kind
Well,
of games because of all
Guitar
the
Hero
copyright
YouTubers
issues.
have like the custom things, right? They have like the clone hero and they have like even custom tracks and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like meme songs, and they do that shit like that. It's like non-copyrighted stuff.
I
They
feel
could just start selling the controller again and probably make a couple dollars though. Just like a new PC version or something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like it ran its course. Like there wasn't much more you could do with it other than just add more music.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point I feel like there was enough music in those different games. Although like them
I'll
re-releasing,
just make a remastered for like
Yeah.
new gen.
you could do that for sure, but I don't know.
The Fire and Flames remastered.
Oh my god, dude. What if they just make the background cooler? All right. All right, here's a big news topic. All right, guys. All right. On the 18th, I know you guys are all going to be sad as fuck. Stadia officially shuts down. Did you know that?
Bruh.
Yes.
Dude, shit's going down, baby. Who's sad about Stadia?
Anything.
I was planning to buy Lightfall from Destiny 2 on that Stadia, man. Come on.
Here's the funny thing. I read the story that I think it was a studio from Japan, and a producer flew to, I think, San Francisco to like talk to Stadia employees about like, you know, the future, the games they want to develop and stuff. And the next day they shut down. Like, well, he was still in San Francisco on his trip, dude. Yeah, I mean, the Stadia thing, I mean, I don't know. Who the fuck, like, it was so predictable that they're gonna shut it down.
I know,
for
right?
sure.
Like,
It's
you've
still-
seen
they're
that
still
coming
fucked
from
over
the very beginning.
So many
like,
devs, yeah.
I mean, it was like a weird thing. It was like, wait, you play in the off the cloud, right? Which I think there is definitely something there when it comes to gaming for playing off of the cloud, so you don't have to like download it and stream the game rather than actually like have it on your system and stuff. But like, it seemed like the whole thing itself didn't really seem like it offered much value rather than just like buying the game for yourself, you know? Especially since everyone already has like a console or a PC that can play whatever game for the most part.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like, there's better options too, very easily. Like, the Amazon competitor, I think, is cheaper and offers more because it also is like a Fire TV stick. So, like, and then there's like TVs now that just have xCloud on it. You don't even need anything else besides just a TV
So I think
and an Xbox controller.
the problem with Stadia is it was like its own ecosystem. Because like
Yeah.
I don't think we are the target audience for Stadia regardless. Because yeah, we have PCs.
Any
and
cloud
whatnot.
servers.
But yeah, or any cloud service. But you know, like your more casual person would be, but your more casual person probably wasn't gonna buy invest in a whole new platform. Whereas like with xCloud, when that gets integrated into a TV, you're like, oh, I already have an Xbox account. I've bought some games on it. Yeah, sure, I'll stream them over my TV once every 3 months, right? And maybe you start playing more. But like with Stadia, it was you had to pay monthly too, didn't you? So it was like you had to invest in this new thing. You had to buy the games on Stadia, and like certain games didn't even transfer at all. So if you were playing like Destiny originally on Stadia, right, like your save data was just on Stadia. So I don't know.
Are they doing refunds for content people purchased on Stadia?
Oh, are they? Does anyone know?
Well, I don't know.
Probably
Because
not.
I saw an article about that. That was like a big thing. Whether or not they were. people were
Nifty
getting
said they
refunded.
refunded all money.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
No, it's at least good.
His friend got all the Destiny money back. But yeah, so Stadia's gone forever. Goodbye. Well, I don't know. I haven't even thought about Stadia in years, so you won't be missed, but you know. It's gone.
Yeah, also, here's the thing. The price was $130 at the beginning. That is also so much for like you just buying a streaming stick and a controller, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. All right, I'm gonna bring us back. I should have put this with the Halo topic. I apologize. But so Xbox is doing their little show in the
$10 right now. Halo will not be mentioned.
well, so that's what I was.
Well, they
gonna
already
say.
said that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Xbox and Bethesda have their
I guess you owe me
developer
$10.
direct on January 25th here. And then people are saying 343 won't be there. So, well, I mean, on the list, 343 is not on here. So, how do we feel? Well, how do you feel about this in general? Or if you want to throw in, how do you feel about Halo not showing?
I mean, I feel like it's a good thing, I guess, because they're finally showing gameplay for games, like a significant amount of gameplay, not just like, hey, here's a cinematic trailer, some guys walking around, a little gameplay, and that's it. You know, an actual like deep dive into Redfall single player and multiplayer. I'm curious to see that because I want to see what this game's really about. Like we kind of know, but I want to see how it plays, like a long version of it. So I know there's something there to be excited about that's coming from an Xbox first party studio. Because let's be honest, last year wasn't necessarily a great year for Xbox, and they need to do something this year because right now. This is going to sound a little console warish. Sony and Nintendo are kind of just slapping the shit out of Xbox right now.
Yeah,
I mean, from what I've heard, that's gonna be kind of like a Microsoft version of like a Sony Direct, Nintendo Direct, where it's just like gameplay trailers, you know, and stuff like that, just back to back to back. I mean, maybe some developer things were like, "Hi, I'm a developer. This is our game. Thank you," you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. And Starfield's going to have its own event as well. I know a lot of people are mad about not being a part of this, but I think as big as Starfield is, it should have its own event because let's be honest, that game needs to succeed as well. It's hyped up as much as Cyberpunk was, and I don't think they dare release a game that's broken, you know.
No. Actually, I thought about that. Guys, this is the Cyberpunk hate actually was a byproduct of Xbox losing the console war because there was so many PlayStation users, and that was just the worst version, right? So like Starfield won't have that issue because it won't be on PlayStation.
Shit, dude.
True. You're right. They were mad about not having Keanu Reeves on stage.
Luke coming in with the big brain play.
I got it. Also, like this is Bethesda game. It's gonna be fucking broken. Who gives a shit? It's about world building and like I don't know, fun things like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I never really delved too much into a Bethesda game. I put like 20 hours into Skyrim, never finished it. And I put like 20 hours into Fallout 4, still never finished that one either. But I mean, from what I did play, they were great games. I don't care what people were saying, you know, about, especially about Fallout 4. They're like, not true Fallout, whatever. But like, it's fun.
I thought Fallout 4 was great, and the DLC was even better. So I don't know.
I think the most Bethesda stuff I ever played was Fallout 3. And it's good. I never finished it. But
that's
good.
Another game I bought. Got to play that.
Dude,
Never played a
Fallout
Fallout
3 is a great game. It's
BHP's gonna be.
I think it's. He's set. Fallout 3 is great.
He's gonna be
it's
an
the only one
enlightened
with like
gamer.
random encounters.
There's just so much. I haven't played a Fallout game. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game, a Mass Effect game. There's just there's so much I haven't played just because I was busy playing it.
Here's a pro tip though. I couldn't get into Mass Effect back in the day. Just start on the second one. The first one is not that good.
The gameplay for the first one sucks.
Oh boy.
The first one sucks to play. Like you'll get fucking annoyed with it. Just start on the second one. The story you can picture like skip the first one. I just started on the second one and then I played straight through that. Played straight through the third one, and like I tried the first one even after, and I still couldn't get into the first one. But like second and third definitely like banger games.
First one's still my favorite though. To me, it has the best story of the three of them. But
story.
Let's tell PopQ2 the most important thing to do. When you have the option, just make sure you punch. That's all you need to know.
Sounds like that sounds like some advice for Callisto Protocol, dude.
There are like mods and stuff to make some of the load times a lot better. Maybe look into those. And like
and there's a texture mod in there as well where like it will make things look better and not so like, you know, Xbox 360 day stuff.
Well, I played the remastered and the gameplay for the first one still felt off. I don't know. So
the gameplay on one, it's clunky, slow, and
but that's the most.
like
that's like the main thing you're gonna be Like, sure, there's story and everything, but like, I don't know.
Well, actually, at BHP, I will say, did you ever play Knights of the Old Republic?
No.
Oh my
No,
god!
Never played it.
I've never
Star
played
Wars
that
game
either. So
I'll say if you like Knights of the Old Republic, then you would really like Mass Effect then, because Knights of the Republic, what I'll say, Mass Effect is essentially Knights of the Old Republic without lightsabers.
Okay.
yeah, yep. Alrighty. Let's see.
Ratch, I could be mistaken, but it seems like you've skipped a topic.
Which topic?
Before Stadia. Yeah.
Yeah, what did you skip there, huh? Come on, buddy.
All right.
Are you scared? What are you scared of? Huh? Are you scared of Twitter, dude?
All right,
Bring it out.
We'll talk about it. All
Bring the
right,
fuck up, dude. Square the fuck up. Flex your muscles.
Get ready, chat.
I'm sure everyone's been seeing it, but there's been a lot of fighting on the internet about AI art lately. Thought maybe we'd discuss it a little bit, how you guys feel about one, kind of the premise of it in general, and then two, how do you feel about, you know, like people utilizing it for content or
This is
Go ahead, Jerry.
go. Well, I was just gonna say, okay, this is what drives me nuts about this, right? Let's say you're making a thumbnail for a YouTube video. All right, let's just start right there. Okay, people are fine with you going to Google, finding any image, right-clicking and saving it, and then making a thumbnail from that, which is essentially stealing it. But when you use a random generator to make a picture from those various options into an original piece, and that's worse than doing the other thing, and I don't understand that. And then if you're okay with going to Google and taking, let's just say, official dev art that they say you're free to use, right, for anything, you're free to monetize it or whatever. If you use an AI art generator that doesn't take random images from around the web, but just takes the one image you put into it and then rework that one image, is that better? Or worse than the one that takes a bunch of different images from randomly around the internet and throws them into one? Like, what's the worst option here? Because to me, it's all about the same. Like, I understand people being mad about like legitimate art that is normally sold being used to generate another image, and then someone maybe profits off that or anything like that. But if you take an image by a dev that they say you can monetize, and you put that one image in there, and the AI makes an image from that one image, I think that's okay. At least that's how I feel about it.
Also, where's the difference? If I make a mood board with a bunch of art pieces and then draw my own art piece out of, like, you know, from all these fucking characteristics or whatever the fuck I have on my mood board, like, that's what the AI does, basically, right?
Yeah, and
From
like
my
people,
understanding.
artists can take inspiration from other people's art, and so like, why is AI not allowed to do that? You know
Any
what I think
fan
it
art is based off like someone's like work,
Yeah,
right?
like what I think it is I think a lot of these artists are just butthurt that there is a tool that exists to create like really cool images with very little effort. You know, I think that's what it is.
It's this kind of same thing like how it usually is with this kind of stuff when it comes to like computers coming in with like artistic stuff, is that like it's not really ever meant to be like the reason for something to exist, but more it's another tool for you to take advantage of when it comes to speeding up the process of making something that you want to make, or helping lower the skill ceiling when it comes to, like I said, like making a thumbnail or for a YouTube video or something like that. It's not really meant to like replace people's efforts when it comes to stuff that they can make.
And also,
there should
like,
definitely be a distinction between like user created art and AI generated art. You know?
Sure, but like also buying art and commissioning art is kind of a luxury that I don't know, I couldn't afford for YouTube thumbnails. Like, it would just cost too much money. I mean, we don't use AI art either, but like, you know what I mean? It could be an alternative.
You don't use it yet.
I don't know. We'll see. I am very hesitant on using AI art for YouTube because, like, on Google, they filter out AI generated like news articles and stuff. So like, there's people getting paid to rewrite AI generated news articles to make it not get picked up by Google's like auto detection. So I wonder if like the whole AI art stuff is gonna be like detected on YouTube too at some point.
I feel like on that front specifically, because I've also seen people say like AI art is like murky legally, and they think like, I saw people think that YouTube might like build in a system where instead of filtering it out, it like copyrights your stuff if you're using AI art. But I think like, I don't know, man, tech companies love fucking AI. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if a Google or an Facebook or like one of these big, or a Microsoft, one of these big tech companies They bought chat, whatever, right?
Chat GPT or like the both sole like usage rights.
Yeah.
It's gonna be integrated with Bing or something, or maybe Windows 11.
So like, I think it's only a matter of time until the art ones also get bought. Like Midjourney probably gets bought by Google or someone, right? There's no way these tech companies are gonna see this stuff exist and just like let it sit there. They're for sure gonna utilize it. And so,
well, like also could be something. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I was saying like also it could be something where that technology can be used for something else that could be completely unique. Like say for say like a game like Flight Simulator, right? Where they have like that texture streaming stuff, but like that's super expensive and on your resources and also your data as well. But like you can maybe find something where like maybe you could use like AI imaging to recreate something without having to like pull direct source images to reduce on like data loads or something like that. There's some good technology that's there that can definitely be utilized.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, like, okay, hypothetically, I mean, I don't think AI art has taken away any jobs, and I don't know if it will. But even if it did, like, I mean, that just happens. Like, it's just been happening for hundreds and thousands of years. Or like, you remember the Blind Panic when like they had like the self checkouts and they're like, oh, that's got to take away jobs from cashiers. It didn't really matter.
It's actually interesting that you say that because I've seen people say they don't want AI to take away, jobs from artists, but they're okay with them taking away jobs from other people like self checkout and stuff like that. And to me, it's almost the same difference. Like obviously you're not creating the register and then checking people out on it, but it's just the fact that to me, I mean, if you're taking away someone's job, then obviously you need a replacement for that job, or else eventually this is just going to be really bad down the road because there's going to be too many people without jobs at some point. But I mean, obviously that's a long way away.
That's the thing though. Like that's a government thing that the government has to worry about, ideally, and also like that jobs disappear. That's just a thing that happens. Like I don't know. Like, what about the fucking phone operators that like did a little fucking thing to connect someone? That's not a thing anymore. Like that job disappeared. But like, or like I don't know, coal mining will disappear. Like, yeah, the government has to take care of these people. And I mean, I guess artists aren't like employed people in the same way. But like, it just happens that jobs become obsolete and maybe get replaced. I don't think it'll happen with the AI art though, because like I don't know. Maybe like some niche stuff like concept artists or something will get less work because they'll just AI generated. But like I think like the people who commission art will still commission art, and like I think that's it. Like I don't think someone using AI images or generated art for like thumbnails or anything would have commissioned an artist. Like I don't think it's like some cost saving measure. Like 99% of the time, it's just someone messing around with some new technology, like a Rush.
Exactly. And random art by different artists, the different styles, like whether it's like watercolor and, things like that. I don't know if AI is ever going to be able to replace all those different art styles. Like, let's be honest, right now, it just mashes stuff together and then you get strange looking aliens out of a soldier. So, I mean, it's just, I don't think you can ever replace that uniqueness that comes from an individual person when it comes to actual artwork.
And usually, you can like tell by looking at it, like, oh, that's AI generated. You know?
There's always weird things like that kind of separate it from art crafted by a human, right? But you do have to wonder at some point, like we're still in the very early stages of AI art, so as it improves, you might not be able to tell as much.
I mean, I'm sure there's the general public can't tell. Like we may in this call can all tell if an image is photoshopped, but like the Facebook moms will still fall for it, or like on Fox News they'll still fall for it. I'm just saying, like,
oh, the AI's coming for my job at the Quickie Mart.
It should have came for that job years ago. Come on. No, I don't know, man. I get the pushback against AI art, but I also just feel like I don't know. I think if there's a way to figure out the legality issues of it just basically like taking a bunch of people's shit and using that to make new images.
Instead of legality issue,
I don't think that's the thing is I don't know if it is because like
it might not be.
A human being can do the same thing, right? You can stare at three art pieces and combine them together and no one will say anything. But when the AI does it, you get upset. But
So I'm thinking it's not like, I don't know. I mean, where the TikTok lawyers at? I haven't seen like the fucking Saul Goodman
maybe-
TikTok lawyer in a while. But like, I don't know if it's a legal issue.
Maybe the way you get around legal issues is, whatever. What you do is someone like Google buys the AI art generator, and then it's a blank canvas, right? There's no images in this generator. And then people can offer their pictures to be a part of the generator to be used to make other images, and they make a commission off that. Then Google, runs ads on the page that people have to use to make the art on. Like, you could do something like that. You get like, hey, you get a penny every time your image is used to generate something. Like, you do something like
If
that.
maybe,
It's really
But, like
expensive.
the thing is, I don't think that will happen because like you post your image publicly on the internet, it is publicly to see for anyone, and this AI can look at it too and like use features that it saw. Like,
you
know
use
what I
your
mean?
ID, damn it.
I don't know. So like, I don't know. If you post your art public, I mean, like it'll end up in some database.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, I mean, if you're posting an image or like some kind of piece of art on the internet, you have to expect that it's gonna get stolen or used or repurposed, kind of thing. Like, because it's just like you can just screenshot it or you can just Control C, Control V,
And I mean,
Like
if
the-
someone straight up is copying your image, like reposting it from monetary, you can copyright it. But like, I don't think AI art is a copyright case because like it is just like it's just like a cumulation of like different things, and you cannot copyright that. Like, you just can't. I don't know. I don't know. It's like a mix mash.
There's ways around avoiding getting an image stolen online. I think a lot of people are just like, well, I just want to be able to post it and not have to worry about it, which is like, you wish you could, but this is the internet. It's meant for stealing.
it's meant for
I mean, yeah. Also, they posted. But like, that's just the cost of running things. They posted, it gets stolen, sure. But like, also, like, maybe they get more commissions from posting it. So like, it is always something you gotta. If you run any business, they'll have negative effects and positive effects with shit you do, and it's just like
yeah.
how it is. I don't know.
I-
And I mean, like, being a freelance artist is being self-employed and kind of running a business. It just those negative effects come with anything. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it goes over the next like 6 months, year or so. Because I think, I don't know, as strong as the pushback is right now, I think,
That's just on Twitter.
yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna start utilizing it and stuff, and most of the most of your average viewers or like consumers of media won't be as like knowledgeable to be able to tell it's even AI generated, or B, they might be able to tell and just honestly not care. And so
And you can like mix and match. Like you can just use, partial like AI generation, like AI generate a background,
yeah,
and then you do some of your own work.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
kind of like I was talking about earlier, saying that you use it as a tool to kind of help
yeah,
create stuff, because it still has to be a human there that needs to create it for the AI to utilize it.
Yeah.
Also, I've seen stuff like where people used album art, for example, and then extended the image like by AI, and that looked kind of cool. I don't know.
yeah. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. All right, I think that gets us through most of the news topics that I had down. Only other thing we can just quickly touch on it because Nifty was asking, but this has just been an ongoing thing. But what do you guys have? Do you guys have any thoughts on like different Halo creators that are kind of just like, it seems like this year is the year of people piecing
Actually,
out.
this fucking guy, his name's Kevin Kulak, dude. He's fucking annoyed me. No, I'm just kidding. I see his Halo videos on my feed, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
Another news video. Here we go.
Dude, I don't know. I think like people, Halo content creators should just make, I guess, what they want to make, and if they don't want to make Halo videos, I mean, what's the big
Yeah.
deal?
No,
I mean, like,
it's-
the thing is, sure, they will give up viewership. That is for sure. But I mean, like, I don't know. It's just anyone, like, I don't know. I mean, like, how many COD tubers have dropped out? It's just like sometimes people get bored of the game and just start moving on, and it either works out or it doesn't work out. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's also never good to just put your eggs all kind of like in one basket, kind of thing. When it comes to content creation in general, or at least you need to find a way to kind of just adjust yourself to where whatever stuff you like to make, you can use it for this game or use it for this style of content, kind of thing. I've seen it happen to over. I've been watching gaming content on YouTube since like classic Modern for 2 days, and it's like you see people just adapt and change and then learn how to make content in different ways, kind of stuff. Maybe your custom game lobby montage videos are just not popping up as they used to be because it's content people have seen a million times already, or something like that. But like, it's like kind of like how like montages used to be like a big thing back in the day, but now no one really cares, just because we just
Actually, I've been thinking about that, and I think this is a completely different topic where I'm going now, but I think the skill-based matchmaking discussion is not like the skill-based matchmaking isn't that much harder. It's just people like are better and they devalue people that are better. Like back in the day, if you had someone that was carrying the lobby, you might add them, try to play with them, right? Today you call them a dirty sweat and fucking block them so you never play with them again, right?
true,
And that's
right?
the same. And then montages that used to be like, oh, this is like a 1% gamer, right? I could make a fucking good-looking COD montage that would probably pass in 2007. So like, I think the average of people who are just really good at the game has gone up like exponentially. So like nobody gives a shit about montages
I really
anymore.
don't think it's just that people got better. I mean, there are still your bot players who just have no idea
but
what to
like,
do.
what are
I
these
do think
players?
skill-based
It's-
matchmaking is a real issue.
I mean, I don't
when
know. On
people
League
bitch
of
about
Legends, you can
skill-based
see.
matchmaking, like I think it is skill-based matchmaking. I don't think it's that just everyone got better because again, like there are still players that are really bad at games.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but like there was less gamers back in 2008 or 2009. Just like there was less. I don't know. So like now the number of people that are better at the
Sure, there
game
might be
has just gone
more,
up.
but there's more better players and more, but also more worse players, more bad players too.
Right.
It
yeah.
goes hand in hand.
But back in the day, the bad players could also have been like, I don't know, players in their mid-20s or something, right? But now today, the bad players are probably just kids. I don't know.
Or old people.
Or old people. Well, yeah, but old people don't play like, I don't know, COD or something.
Not like
assume,
old people, but like I fully believe there's plenty of people in their 30s and 40s playing COD on their couch one time every like 2 weeks with their
Maybe.
buddies.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, but they might
yeah.
still be better than the kids. I don't know.
yeah, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so like I think SBMM, I don't know, the problem is the people that complain about it most are also like the most annoying, like overprivileged stuff. Not like specifically people that are just like, oh, it's kind of annoying, but like the huge streamers that bitch that they can't, like SBMM sucks because they don't get like bot lobbies 24/7 as they VPN anyways to get bot lobbies. It's like,
Fuck that shit. Like,
Dude,
yeah, there
like-
are some people that bitch about some people that bitch about skill-based matchmaking because they're not getting their bot lobbies.
yeah.
But there are other people who have very
Yeah,
real.
there are
Like, some
plenty
of
of people.
my games on Modern Warfare 2 are like,
Yeah.
like the games are almost tied. Right? Like, I'm sweating my ass off playing
Yeah.
Shipment every fucking game. Like, it's ridiculous.
No, shipment is a terrible experience when you have decent MMR because you just like, it's just like shotguns and flashbangs and fucking smokes everywhere, and it's like I've seen like videos of people playing online. And it's just like people walking around with an SMG. I'm like, get me in that fucking lobby. Like that looks fun. But
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
I'm okay
know.
with some sweaty games here and there, but not every single fucking match when I'm not playing ranked. That's what fucking ranked is for. Ranked should be ranked in social. I hate it. It is so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of believe that it should be like a mixture of the two. Like, I don't think SBMM will ever go away because the mega noobs, this is the only way to keep them playing games, you know? Whereas, is like in the past, if someone just hopped on Call of Duty and got 0 kills for 2 days straight, they probably just don't play video games anymore. But now you can put them in a lobby with other people that also don't have thumbs, and then everyone's happy, right? But I think the problem is some games have it tuned too high, and especially in games that it is annoying in Call of Duty. But I think, to be honest, the games that it is the most detrimental in are games with lower player bases because it just fucks your ability to play the game. Like, there's so many people that post about like how in Halo Infinite, like they can't even play certain like social playlists because they can't find lobbies because their skill-based matchmaking or the MMR is too high. Or like you try and play social and you just play the same people like every game because they're the only 8 people that are within your MMR bracket. And I think that is where SBMM is more detrimental than when you just play Shipment and people flashbang you all game and it's like kind of mildly annoying because like I don't know.
It's pretty fucking annoying when every game's a sweat fest. It's
I mean,
worse
it
when
is,
when a game has a low population, but
yeah, I don't know. I have hopes that maybe companies will like tune it back a little bit.
X Defiant, they're not doing that.
Yeah,
right?
that game's gonna be dead as fuck. Pop Q.
It is. It probably will be, but that's what caught my interest.
Yeah.
No skill-based matchmaking. Like that's a good thing.
Is that what X Defiant's developer said? Like there's no skill-based.
Yeah, they put out a thing that said it won't have
social, they're not
SPMM.
doing.
Yeah, it'll have ranked.
Because it actually
now.
matters. That gets people excited because people fucking hate it.
But I'm curious to see how the population, like, obviously the game has to be good for it to have a good population, but it'll be interesting to see if there's no skill-based matchmaking, will the population just tank or will it, like, rise? I don't know, because everyone's having fun.
The game might
because
not
they'll
do
have so
well,
many
but
different matches.
I don't know if the game will be successful, but
I
if
mean,
it's
it
not
probably won't be,
successful,
let's be
I don't
honest.
think it had anything to do with the skill-based matchmaking
No.
thing. I just think that aspect of it is good, that they're not doing SPMM for social.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it'll be cool to see how it turns out. I have zero hopes that that'll be a good video game, but that's a different
Ubisoft
topic.
title.
I think to be honest, like on the same discussion, I think just Halo has it now, but just the lack of server browsers and stuff in games in general sucks. Because like, if you think about it today, Call of Duty could have the same cracked as fuck SBMM, but if they just had a server browser like old Call of Duties did, you could just go play Chipment with random ass people for like 2 hours, right? And you could have the experience you want. But with games today, your only way to play is to play matchmaking. So if the matchmaking experience is tuned in a weird way, like you just eat it, right? Or like lately, I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but for some reason, like MW2 is just shadow banning like fuck tons of people. So all these people that some of them aren't even mega cracked, they're just like above average players, just get shadow banned, and then your queue times become terrible, and you only play other shadow banned people. And I don't know what's going on there, but
Yeah, that's horrible.
It's weird.
But yeah, okay. All right, that's news. We still have some time to go. So the big topic that I brought for discussion this week was basically just game franchises or games in general that we would want to see either like come back if we haven't seen one in a while, or if it's an existing franchise to kind of like make a resurgence if it's been down bad for many years. So one of you want to volunteer to go first?
This is where like the 7 people who played it just won't stop spamming Shadowrun.
That was the only pick I had in Shadowrun.
All right, you go first, Pop Q.
Well, I didn't even play Shadowrun, but I'm aware of it, and it looked interesting back in the day. Didn't play it because I was busy playing Halo 3, but I do think that would be a game that would do well today. I mean, like, hero shooters, class-based shooters are a lot more popular today than they were back when Shadowrun released. And yeah, I do think in like the current like gaming landscape, that is a game that a lot of people could be interested in today. So I think that game getting some kind of a reboot would be cool. Did any of you play it?
I played it a little bit, but I don't remember a whole lot from it. And I remember watching the Ogre Twins compete in it. That's about as much as I can remember. I think they won a tournament, actually.
I was actually watching gameplay of them playing it the other day. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Wait, it's called Shadowrun?
Yeah, apparently you can
And
still
it's some
play it.
tabletop game?
No, the FPS one.
The
It's an
FPS.
FPS game.
Yeah.
They also have.
I know, it gets confusing.
They also have
the games
like,
BS are literally like there's nothing to do with shadows. So like what up, man? What was that all
Hey, where
about?
the shadows at, dude?
Hey, where the shadows at?
I left in the
He's in
shade.
Sonic.
So I never played like the OG Shadowrun, but there was an Xbox arcade version. I don't know if anyone played it, but I actually played a lot of it, and it was just a multiplayer like arena shooter that was pretty fun. But I don't know what the fuck it was called. But yeah, I don't know. Apparently this is maybe still playable. This guy's just playing bots. Okay. I thought it was playable, but he's just playing bots in 2021. Okay. But yeah, I mean, what Shadowrun's like a class-based shooter, right? Sorta? Is that what it is?
It's basically Overwatch before Overwatch. Would be the best way to put it.
Does Microsoft own the IP?
I have no idea who owns the IP to that. I'd have to assume so. Or wait.
I don't even know who made it.
Neither do I.
Asa Studio, which closed down, which closed down in 2007 after they released this game.
Sick, dude.
So they released the game. I was like, oh my god, he needs to come back.
They released this game and the studio immediately shut down within the same year. That's impressive.
Man.
That is impressive. All right.
It says it's a component of Microsoft Game Studios.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they don't.
So-
know
All
then.
right, come on, Microsoft, buy Treyarch and have them make a new one. There you go. Get it done.
Dude, speaking of Microsoft like FPS IPs that they do nothing with, is that Perfect Dark game ever gonna fucking come out, or are we just living in a world?
I mean, I
Someday.
think they kind of restarted development, like same way Metroid restarted development,
yeah.
because they got a support studio and everything. So, I mean, I think we'll probably wait a little bit on that. And then there's a chance that they'll fuck that up too. If it doesn't have co-op, it's gonna be a bullshit. And there's a high chance it won't have co-op.
I just hope it's good. Perfect Dark was a lot of fun back in the day.
Yeah, that
The
was a
original
great
one,
game.
but the other ones weren't. So like,
Oh, I'm specifically talking about the N64.
no, but I'm
version.
just saying, like, there has been more shitty Perfect Dark games, I guess, than
Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone thinks of the
So,
one Perfect Dark game.
you know.
when they
We'll
talk
see.
about
We'll
Perfect
see.
Dark.
We'll see what happens with this one. And I think like the Perfect Dark, they were co-op based games, right? And that was a big feature back in the day.
It was kind of
um,
couch co-op stuff with it.
Yeah, you could finally like GoldenEye, couch co-op shit. It's
And
hype.
the only reason why it exists is because Rare ran out of or lost the
GoldenEye.
licensing to
Yeah.
GoldenEye.
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
the
The setting looked cool. I like the what was like futuristic, like Middle East kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
I think that's or cyberpunk Middle East. I think that's a very unexplored genre, and it could be very cool, like cyberpunk Middle East. That could be a very cool setting, but like
Well,
I don't have
think
many
it's
hopes.
supposed to be third person as well, right? Not first person. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with
the
that
new one is.
mechanic.
The new
I
one's
thought
supposed to be.
so.
What the
I
fuck?
thought it was supposed to be third
That would
person.
be weird.
What the
I thought
fuck?
it was their. I thought it was their basically way of doing like a Uncharted, Last of Us type game.
Oh, so they're
you
just
know, in comparison
they're
to
just
Sony.
reusing the IP and completely.
No, it
changing
says first person shooter.
Oh, is it
okay.
first person? Okay.
It says first person shooter.
All right, all right.
Okay. Good.
I feel
I'd
like
rather
it's
have it
weird
be
when you
that.
bring back IP like that and then like completely change it, but never mind.
I mean, it could work as like but
Could
like
work.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah,
ambitious,
so
but we'll
I'm-
see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm hoping this comes out. I'm hoping it's decent. I just want new. Well, this isn't new, but I just want like FPS.
Isn't this the first quadruple A game? And I mean, they dropped that
Let's
nail,
not talk
but
about that.
they did announce that there was the first quadruple A game. This game is gonna be so massive. They stopped saying that.
It's gonna be so massive.
It's so massive. They stopped saying that because it's stupid. Because like what it says, like game development just like makes you scream more pain the bigger the game is. Like like the fuck, dude.
It's like the most PR thing you could
It's just
possibly
most.
ever say.
Yeah, I mean, Xbox is good at doing useless PR
PR.
gobbledygook, dude.
It's like, what does that even mean? Like, have they even said what quadruple A even means besides just maybe
Yeah,
like having more
4
money?
A's instead of 3.
Yeah, I thought the triple A, the double A and stuff. I thought that was like about size of company. Like, is this suddenly gonna have 1 million employees working on the game? What does a quadruple A mean? Like,
It
it's
just
just a
has it has a
buzzword.
whole country. India, the entire
Yeah, like,
country is
they
working
bought a
on
whole
it.
country.
The country.
Yeah. They bought the whole fucking continent to work on this game. That's gonna be the Hexa A game or whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Mr. Beast challenge. I
I'll-
bought this country to make a video.
Oh my god, dude. That actually sounds like a good video. He'll do it now. All right, I'll go next.
Probably
All
yours.
right, so I would like, and see, here's the problem. I would like to see this franchise make a comeback, but I also
Halo.
don't know if it's even relevant. No, I'm not even gonna bring up Halo because we talk about Halo 24/7.
yeah, we know.
We all know that we would like to see Halo be relevant, but I would like to see Quake put out a game that is actually relevant, because Quake Champions has been fucking like, it never did anything, and I feel like it's been obviously like we were all little children when Quake was the king, right? But I just feel like the setting of Quake is super cool, and sure, arena shooters today are down bad as fuck, but I wonder if you could revamp the Quake IP and try to do something cool with it that isn't just an arena shooter with heroes, because obviously that fucking didn't work. But I feel like, I don't know if you go the Doom route and you turn it into a single player deal, or if you just go the Doom 20, you just like completely revamp it but keep the aesthetic, or what you do with Quake. But I feel like
Like
you could
Battle
do
Royale.
something. Oh, fuck me. Yeah.
Extraction shooter, but that's
Extraction
actually
shooter,
high
yes.
pace. That's
Yeah.
super high pace in the Quake world. That might actually be kind of sick.
Yeah, but I would love to see Quake make a comeback and actually be good. Even if they just found a way to do arena shooters again with a unique spin, maybe. Like, it doesn't need to be the world's biggest game, but just more relevant and less shitty than Champions. But yeah, I don't know. I think a good Quake would be cool to see back, but I don't know. So
never delved into Quake or Quake adjacent
Unreal
games.
Tournament 3 is getting re-released, right?
Didn't they just shut down the servers for a bunch of the Unreal games?
Yeah, Epic Games is re-releasing it, though. There will be an alpha this year, and they're re-releasing it as a free-to-play game.
Why?
I'm actually excited for that.
Which one's 3?
I think it's called
It's
Unreal
good.
Tournament X. That's a good one.
Is that the
It's
one
so
from
good.
360?
I don't know. I only played on PC.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah, it was on 360.
Oh, all right, that's the one I played. All right, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm ready. That's
But
the
yeah, I
one
think Epic
Unreal I
Games-
played.
Epic Games is re-releasing it. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. On the website, it just says the alpha is coming soon, and you can sign up. So
Can we talk about how fucking Epic had tried to do a crowd-sourced Unreal game and then just gave up when Fortnite popped off?
I mean, they gave up on a lot of stuff. I mean, rightfully so, because I mean, no arena shooter is ever gonna make Fortnite money.
No. They're niche for sure.
Halo can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, maybe
a good Halo.
when if they
maybe.
start working on Halo 7, yeah.
I mean, we
Just-
saw the numbers for Halo were there at launch, right? We saw it, but
Yeah, 20 million. What? 20 million people looked at the store page.
Yeah.
Like
they told me that
I don't
Halo
know, dude.
Infinite was the biggest Halo game in the world. Didn't you see the end of year?
they
tweets?
always say that, and like, I mean, maybe.
Halo 5 was a bigger launch than Halo 3, according to 343.
Yeah, and Halo 4 also was bigger
And
than
the community
Reach.
lost their shit when 343 said that. But
Dude, I still remember when Halo 5
I mean, it
first
might
came
be,
out.
but like, what does that mean? Like, people like preloaded the game like months ago on Game Pass because remember you can do this stupid thing where you can just add the icon to your game list, but you can't play it.
Yeah.
Do they count? Like, we don't know what this 20 million number is. This could just be people. I don't know, people that thought about the game. Like, where do they get the 20 million? Like, you know what I mean?
You know what I
People
have
that
to say about
tweeted
that?
about the game.
I couldn't play any of those games for 6 months and match different people every game like I could in Halo 3. So that's the only thing that matters to me.
Dude, you could be like high 40s and 50s in Halo 3 and still never play the same people. That shit was fun. Like
Those were the days.
you would never run into the same people multiple games in a row, dude. Like it was just
No.
always different lobbies. Unless you were like probably like high 50, which I was not, but maybe that's when you would start running into the same people, but like I felt like all my lobbies were different people for the most part. But all right, someone else. What's a game you want to see come back?
I mean, I would like to see Half-Life try to make a run. I mean, I never actually played them, but I know people like, I mean, they bust a nut every time you mention Half-Life. Like, oh, it's so good. But like, I mean, I tried playing like Half-Life 1 and 2, and I was just like, I don't know about this kind of thing. Like, it just wasn't really, for me, I guess, or whatever. But I would like to see it. Like, maybe they can try to revive it, especially since they left it on such a cliffhanger with the end of Half-Life 2.
Yeah, I mean, Half-Life, interesting. But at this point, I think like they cannot make Half-Life 3 because it cannot live up to any expectations people have built up.
Yeah.
So I think we'll never see Half-Life 3. And like, I mean, we saw Half-Life Alyx, and I mean, I think that game was decent. I didn't play it because I
Yeah,
didn't
I
have
heard
the
a lot of
right
good
setup.
things about it.
Well
But I watched like
received.
Let's Plays and stuff, and like people complained about stuff in it, like the puzzles and shit were stupid. But like, it felt like a Half-Life game. But because it was like a spin-off, I guess people had low expectations. I think Half-Life 3 might never happen, and I mean we'll just see like spin-off games maybe in the Half-Life universe, so the expectations aren't as high.
Them not Half-Life 3 not being able to live up to expectations. Like, do you really think that's something that would deter them from making it?
Yeah. I mean, it is still a
I mean,
private
because
company, and
developers
if that's in
release-
Gaben's head, if that's in
I mean,
Gaben's
there's a
head,
lot of money grab games. You know what I mean?
sure,
Yeah,
but like
but, Valve doesn't
a lot
make-
of these companies aren't private companies, right? This is still Gaben and whatever the fuck he thinks in his head, right? Like he is. That
That's
isn't
true.
like, you know what I mean? It's a private company. He owns majority of the company still, and like this is different from EA or like Ubisoft, whatever. Like if he thinks the same way I think, where like Half-Life 3 will never live up, they won't make it, and I think that's what he feels like from interviews and stuff over the years. You could see, like he kind of is even annoyed with people asking about it. So like,
Well, and also just like game development's crazy expensive.
Yeah, and I mean, like, they have money
anybody else-
makers.
They just have Steam.
They got so much
Yeah,
money.
so
They
that's-
have
They have so
Steam,
much
they have
money off of
Dota, they
that.
have Counter-Strike. Yeah.
That's the thing with Valve is like today they're barely a games company. They're a storefront. They make 90 not 90. I don't know. Most of their money comes from Steam, and the only games they make today are like passion projects. That's why you get random shit like Half-Life Alyx because it's like messing with VR tech, and you get like Artifact because they tried to make a shitty
And-
card game.
Yeah, and you see like there's a lot of like canceled Valve projects
Yeah.
that people uncover later, and it's because like I feel like they have the freedom to just fucking experiment with stuff and then not do it because like Steam is doing well, Counter-Strike's doing well, Dota is doing well. Like those three can fund everything else.
You just brought up the VR game, Rash. Like, how was that received?
People liked Alex.
Alex was well received, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that's
Okay,
a
so then
Half-Life
why
game.
can't- I mean, that's a new Half-Life game. So then why couldn't they do a Half-Life 3 that would be well received?
I don't know.
I'm not
The
saying
expectations.
Valve didn't do it, but yeah.
No,
That-
yeah,
I mean,
but
I'm
like
just saying they made a new Half-Life game, the VR one. You said it was well received, so I mean, so why would they think they couldn't make a Half-Life 3 that's well
I
received?
mean maybe that changed, you know. I don't know.
Right, there you go.
Like,
Don't make Half-Life 3. Just
if
make a
Half-Life 3
Half-Life
has
game.
like any issues, like I don't know, it'll be even bigger fucking shitstorm than Cyberpunk or I don't know, shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, they have so much. I mean, they already have their IPs that are just killing it. You know, so many different. I mean, Dota, like you mentioned earlier, that like it's so hard just to make a game that does well, much less like follow up with like a new IP or something like that.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I understand that. I
succeed
just
that way.
question how much of it is because they think it wouldn't live up to expectations.
I don't think that because people are gonna buy it no matter what.
I don't
That's
know.
what-
I mean, they
that's
have
what I'm saying.
canceled.
Yeah,
They've
people would.
canceled multiple
The game
Half-Life
could be
3
shit,
attempts.
and people are gonna buy it because it's Half-Life 3.
Yeah, but I think that's
Kinda,
the difference.
but
That's
we
the difference
know-
with Valve compared to like an EA or something, where I think like EA will ship like stuff out just to make money, right? I mean, EA ships out a new sports game every year, right? And it's clearly a Call of Duty. Activision does the same shit, right? That is the way those companies exist, and they have to pay their stockholders, right? Where Valve doesn't. If Valve doesn't think so, like. If you ever go back to like old dev interviews or like you read stuff about Valve only wants to put shit out usually when they think it's revolutionary to gaming. And so like you can argue whether or not Half-Life 1 or 2 like truly were revolutionary to FPS games, but in some cases they definitely were, right? And so like is there even do you think they can do they think that Half-Life 3 can be a step up above the FPS gaming space compared like it to the same degree those games were at the time? Like maybe not. And it like Luke said, they've canceled multiple Half-Life 3s. Like you can find footage.
They even canceled the VR game before they did Alex
yeah,
too. Like
you can find footage from all sorts of different Valve canceled products that like looks kind of cool. I mean the whole like the Half-Life 2 episode whatever, the whole script leaked, right? And so like they get this stuff fairly far down, and I think they just once it doesn't hit their expectations, or you know, because they have a weird company structure where people work on whatever they want to work on, so like once when someone gets bored with it, they just go do something else, right? And they just cancel it.
yeah, and I mean
Pretty
Valve
much.
consists of
They
a bunch
don't-
of people like that made mods for Source, and then like Valve was like, "Hey, you come work for us." And I mean, like a lot of these people are still around, so I don't know. It's just completely different space, I guess, of development. I would assume at Valve than at like a classic like Ubisoft studio or EA studio. So I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
They're not
I
super
just
into,
think
like,
the
whole-
expectations are enormously high for Half-Life 3. Like bigger than any video game ever. Bigger than Cyberpunk. Bigger than I don't know whatever, Fallout 5 maybe even, or Elder Scrolls 6. Like I think Half-Life 3 has enormous expectations behind it that I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
understandable.
Between how big it was and how critically received it was, and the fact that it like literally like the next game never came out, right? Like the expectations are ginormous. But honestly, like a lot of Valve IP is like that because they just don't put shit out anymore. Like Valve just like doesn't make games very often, right? And when they do these days, it's something weird. It's not even like a traditional game in that sense. And so I don't know. I would love to see
I mean,
Valve make more
They make
shit.
other things. They make one of the best handhelds in the industry now. They make the best VR headset in the industry, and they, you know what I mean. They just ventured on a little bit. I don't know. But I mean, also back in the day, they did like the weird Counter-Strike story spin-offs and stuff, right? But programming these, I guess, wasn't as intense as like something new would be.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like you can make those as custom mods and stuff. Like, so like a lot of Valve's early games and the way they had a lot of different games that were like basically mods for the source engine, right? And that's not what people want out of Half-Life 3. Like a source mod, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Half-Life 3 has to be like really good, right? It can't be like
Yeah.
Counter-Strike
Maybe-
to Half-Life 1.
Well, I mean, also we're still on the Source 2 engine. Maybe when Source 3 comes out and they want to promote it big, like maybe
Yeah.
then we'll see Half-Life 3. But like, I don't know. The Source 2 engine is still early. Like they even haven't ported Counter-Strike to Source 2 yet, which like will maybe eventually happen. So like we'll see when we even see Source 3.
Dude, I don't, man. I want Counter-Strike. I want CS:GO on Source 2 so bad, and it's just like I don't
It'll be a
know.
nice step. I mean, the Dota step up. The Dota port was
Yeah,
great.
I want Source 2 in a revamped matchmaking system, and dude, I'm just gonna go back to playing Counter-Strike all day. That's
But
all I
this is
need.
also something nobody else does. Like, imagine keeping a game the same but migrating it to a new engine, like during its game's like popularity and life cycle. Like, other video game developers don't do that.
No, I just make a new game.
They just make a new game, and like they didn't. They just knew Dota 2 was popular, but they wanted a new version, so they ported it to a different engine, and people liked it. It was well made. Well,
Yeah.
they didn't just release Dota 3, which they could have done maybe, but like I don't know. It's just I don't know. Valve is just a weird studio at the end of the day because it's a private company and not. I mean that makes it I guess seem more indie than like EA. Even though they make a lot of money.
Yeah, I
mean,
think the fact that they don't answer to stockholders means they can kind of, as long, although like Valve per capita is like one of the most insane. Like, there's a stat where like per employee, Valve makes more money than like any other company.
yeah, I mean, Gaben is a multi-billionaire.
Yeah,
Like, but like, he's still, I don't know, dude. I see him fucking traveling to Dota events. He just like fucking likes watching Dota. So I don't know, dude. It's just like he's just a dude.
He's the dude.
I mean, that's why he has been a meme, I guess. And like, I don't know, he didn't go off the deep end like the Minecraft dude.
Then go
I
off
don't
the
know.
deep end like the Minecraft.
People still like him. Yeah.
Oh jeez.
for sure. All right, do we have any other options? Or no
Oh, I have
options?
a bunch.
Yeah, all right, go.
Okay, obviously we're getting a Dead Space remake, but I would like to see a new Dead Space game too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, maybe something return to classic, maybe retell or tell a new story, something that was better than Dead Space 3. Dead Space 2 was still fine, I thought. So, you know, at least 2 out of 3 games were good. The remake is probably going to be good. I guess we'll see. You know, it could be shit. We never know nowadays. But we'll see in a couple days.
They
I
said
think
that
it's a
the
week
remake
out.
wasn't going to be like a direct one-to-one recreation, but like they're gonna say they said they'll stay true to the original.
Yeah, I mean,
but
from
then,
the gameplay, it kind of looked like that. So,
Mhm.
so maybe like the remake will sell well, and we'll see new Dead Space. They could even just tell a new story in like the Dead Space style. And I mean, they have told other stories. There's 2 animes for Dead Space that are, I think, unrelated to the games. That would be cool. I mean, they're related to the games, but like they don't follow like the main character. I think. I don't remember. It's been years. So yeah, I think there's definitely possibility for Dead Space to be a horror shooter with unique, like, mechanics and guns. I mean, that's what it was, right? Horror shooter that had like unique things back in the day.
Yeah, well, so I think also remember back then, like I mean, so I don't remember it being a thing too often seen in games, but like the ability to like shoot off limbs and like that would affect like the way the character would like come at you, like they would actually like kind of limp towards you.
And every
or
weapon
crawl.
had like an upgrade path. Every weapon had like an alternate fire mode. It was just cool. Like, I don't know, it was just like unique. And then like the stasis mechanic, they had like little puzzles in the game that would feed into it, and it was fucking scary. Like, it was a fucking creepy ass game. Very atmospheric, and like, I don't know, there's actually, does anyone know the movie Event Horizon?
Oh,
It's like some
God.
obscure horror movie that was so brutal they had to cut. It's like in space, like these people wake up and then I don't know, I don't remember the plot because it's been years, but like it's something they have a connection to hell and then like they go crazy and like kill each other on the ship. But like that as a kid I watched that movie and I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. And then Dead Space came out and it's kind of the same setting. So I always loved Dead Space. Dude, when are we doing Event Horizon Watch Night, dude? I am surprised.
I don't even know what it is.
It's I don't know. It has a dude from Jurassic Park in it. the professor, like the main professor dude. I don't know, but like yeah, we'll watch it. We'll watch it. It's a good horror movie.
All right.
And I think it's something about that.
To hell and comes back. Good movie.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, a new Dead Space would be cool. Obviously. Although I think that hinges on how the remake does. Like,
definitely.
Obviously, I mean the reason Dead Space got shut down is because 3 sucked and didn't sell.
Yeah,
very
but
well.
like I don't know, they make 3 so different. Like
yeah.
it's just insane.
There's a reason it's
company.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I think if the remake does well, I mean EA loves money, so if the remake does well, they'll put someone behind making us a new one. I mean that's almost a guarantee. So that's just the way.
From what I've read about the game, it does seem like they might be using the Dead Space remake as a way to kind of like relaunch the franchise, kind of thing.
I mean, it's a good way to do it.
They could remake Dead Space 1 and 2, and then just make a new Dead Space 3, like a proper one.
Yeah.
That would be very avant-garde, but like they could pull it off, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, if you have to think like along that line of like using remakes to kind of hype up a franchise again, I feel like Resident Evil did that really well. Because like, the Resident Evil franchise like kind of started to fall off a bit, in my opinion, and then they did some like really good.
Definitely did.
Yeah. They
5
did
and
some
6 were hated.
Yeah. They did some
Especially
really good
6.
remakes
7
of
was loved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 6 was like
7
the low
was
point
after
of the
remakes,
franchise.
though.
Yeah.
7 was after the remake.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first remake came out. Resident Evil 2 remake came out, was very good, and then I think 7 came out.
I thought it was 7, and then 2 remake, 3 remake, and then 8.
Oh, okay.
I thought 3
7
was between
first.
7.
Because I thought they funded 7 with all the money they made from the 2 hated Resident Evil games. The 6 sold like super well, but everyone hated it. But they used that money to like revamp the studio, and then they made 7. I'm trying to remember.
Hold on. I'm trying to pull up the list. Hold on.
We also know they made
All right. We got. Oh well, the remake. Okay, so the remake for original Resident Evil was 2014, right? Resident Evil 7. Wait, what? No, I'm confused.
You want to
now.
look up Resident Evil 2 remake?
No, 7 came out 2017.
All right, two remake is
3
2019.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
7 is 2017.
So.
Anyways, yeah.
So yeah, 7 was
7
first.
was
I mean,
before
you
the
had
remake.
like a big resurgence with 7. Like 7 was huge.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, fair enough.
I'm a Resident Evil guy.
That's why you play. What the fuck's that game called?
But they did also make Resident Evil Revelations during the time, and those weren't as hated. Those were kind of good.
No, those were good games.
Yeah.
Which is the Resident Evil game recently that had like a VR mode? Was that 7?
Yes, 7 had a VR mode.
Oh,
I don't think I would ever touch a Resident Evil game in VR in my life.
Oh
No.
god.
Didn't Resident Evil 4 have a VR release too?
Yeah, that had one too.
Yeah.
Wait, what
I
did?
guess it's really good.
Resident Evil 4?
I think it came out last year.
Yeah, they put it on VR. I remember it was on my Oculus Rift, and it like in the store it was advertised Resident Evil 4. I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't even fucking hear about that. What the hell?
There's Fallout 4 VR. People forget about that. Doom 2016 VR. There's just like these random VR games people like these developers throw out. I mean, we don't play VR, so I guess maybe that's why. Or I mean, I don't play VR. I don't know.
I've never.
I don't.
played
Raj
VR.
doesn't.
VR is scary. I have to get out of my chair.
I mean, you can play it sitting down too.
Yeah, but like, come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
So that was Dead Space. I mean, I would. This is like cliche, but like, I'd love to see a new Mass Effect game.
Yes.
Sure.
Well,
I mean, we
it's
are
in the
getting
works.
one.
It's in the works.
Yeah. Wait, isn't Dragon Age Mass Effect all announced?
Hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, no, I hope it's bad.
So if new Mass Effect is bad and new Dragon Age is bad, does BioWare just shut down finally?
I would think they would kind of have to.
I think they
especially
should make
from EA standards.
I think they should make a hero shooter, a third-person hero shooter next.
Yeah.
I mean, if they just find a way to re-release a Mass Effect 3 multiplayer and just release that just as a game, I guarantee you, like people.
They should
love
just
it.
release Anthem next. I think it was called.
Yeah,
They
that
canceled
was
that.
what it was called. Yeah, and then they just decided they weren't gonna do it.
I mean, smart, cut the losses. I respect that more than some other developers still hanging on to the dead games.
So when is the new BioWare stuff supposed to come out? Are we still like years out?
I think
Yeah.
the new Dragon
they
Age
just
comes out
announced,
next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, the Dragon Age. What's it supposed to be called this time?
Dreadwolf, I think, is what it's
Yeah.
called.
Oh, we
Yeah,
have a
like,
name. I didn't know that.
I've never played any of the Dragon Age games. I know
Or
everyone's like,
the
"Oh, you
placeholder.
like Mass Effect, but not Dragon Age." But like,
Well, it always drives me
I've never
crazy.
been super
Like,
into fancy.
people are like, "Oh, I hope the new Dragon Age is good." Where the last Dragon Age was, I'm pretty sure it was up for Game of the Year when it came out. Like, it was a good game. I
the
don't know
last
what
one
the complaint really
Inquisition?
was.
I mean,
Yeah, Inquisition was
Yeah,
the last
that
one.
was. I mean, I didn't play it, but it was received.
the complaint is more about the studio. I guess with Anthem, they took a big hit
Yeah.
to their
Oh, yeah.
and
They-
Andromeda.
They took 2 hits. Yeah, you put out Andromeda, and then you
Yeah.
followed it up with Anthem. So you
Yeah.
struck out with 2
Yeah, that's the
big
real
ass
problem.
games twice in a row. And like BioWare doesn't put games out that often, so when you strike out twice and your next game isn't for another when did Anthem come out? Like by the time the new Dragon Age is out, you're like 5 years out, right? So yeah.
Mm. No, now looking back, I'm like Andromeda just wasn't like that bad of a game. It was like it had a rough launch for sure, but
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, its biggest
And
issue was just having those technical issues, and then also it just
Yeah.
like the story wasn't as good, and it just didn't hit the same as like a Mass Effect game, from like the past and stuff.
Yeah, but the expectations were very high after Mass Effect 1, 2, 3, and that's like the expectations built up for years. Because Andromeda released 5 years after the last one.
Yeah, yeah.
When the other ones kind of
one video,
released,
5 years and $450 million later.
Yeah,
get
the other
this
ones
game.
released 2 years apart or something, right?
Yeah, they were
7,
dude,
9, 12, 11 or something.
It's crazy how fast games used to release, and I understand the tech
Those
back then was
Games were
totally
better.
different.
I don't know.
But dude, it's crazy to me that you could ship out some of those sequels as fast as they could back in the day, and then nowadays devs spend 6 years on a game and it comes out broken as fuck. You're
And
like,
it's
huh,
dog shit. Yeah.
interesting. But I guess that's the new tech. Yeah, there's so much more in games now. But
Yeah,
all
but
right.
I mean, we'll see. Yeah.
Next franchise, someone go.
You want to go, Kev? You want me to go?
I went with Half-Life.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You went with that. Oh, it's just me, I think. Well, I have an old game from the PS2 era. It's a platforming game that I think is highly underrated and it needs to come back. There's a reason why it kind of went away, but that's Jack and Daxter. I don't know if any of you guys...
I have that on my
Yeah,
list
yeah.
too.
Okay, so the first Jack and Daxter is one of the greatest platforming games ever. A lot of people don't know much about it. For starters, the original trilogy ran at 60 FPS on the PS2, which was
That's
pretty
insane.
phenomenal. Yeah, that was pretty phenomenal. They pulled some wizardry there. And then the games didn't have loading screens. They were just from start to finish, it was seamless. And they were some of the first games to, have that style. And the way that the gameplay just worked, like how you could roll and jump further and combo attacks, through melee against enemies and, stuff like that, just worked so flawlessly. And the second one to the first one was the perfect transition, even though it kind of took weird aspirations from Grand Theft Auto 3 because it came out around that time. And it was kind of weird because you drive across the city to do different missions and stuff. But outside of that, 2 was the perfect upgraded. They introduced guns. The main character talked in the second one. He didn't talk in the first one. And they handled that perfectly. Then they went to the third one, and the third one was just kind of, I don't know. It's they had mini games in the first 2 games, and the first 2 hours of the third one are just mini games that you're playing. Not really the platforming and action that the first 2 are known for. And then they made a racing game, and then they made a PSP Vita game.
Dude, the
that was,
PSP
Daxter.
game was good as fuck. 100%.
Yeah, it wasn't
The
too bad.
Daxter
And then
game.
they had what you call it, Jack and Daxter, the Lost Frontiers, or whatever, which was designed for the Vita, I think, and the PS2. And that game was just
It's still a PSP
was-
game. Still.
yeah, it was trash because Naughty Dog made these games, but that one, the last one they released, they Naughty Dog was trying to make Uncharted for the PS3, I believe, and they brought in another studio and they messed up the gameplay. It wasn't as smooth. It was a little glitchy. There's a lot of issues with the game, and then the franchise just kind of went away. But like what the first two games done for like platforming and the way they were designed, not a lot of other games have really like achieved that back in that time. And also they brought on Nickelodeon and Disney design artists, if I remember right, to help with the animations in those games, or at least the first one, if I remember right. So that was kind of cool for back then, that you would have someone come in like that and help develop a game at that time. So yeah. That's I'd like to see that come back.
Yeah, I mean the first trilogy was made within like 3 years.
Yep.
And then the last one, and then they took a 3-year break or 4-year break to make the last one, and that one didn't hit. So yeah.
No, it was bad because like, well, on the Vita you don't have another thumbstick, so you can't rotate the camera. You have to use the triggers and shootings with like a button, and it wasn't very good. Yeah,
the BXR game on the PSP was like good though. Like, so I don't know.
Yeah,
they made that one work.
Yeah, they made that work, but I think there's just too many mechanics when you introduce the main character back into the game. And for people who don't know, Daxter's like this little side character that was with the main one. They were partners, and it's funny. It's a funny game. It's fun. I recommend it. The whole series.
You did get a collection later released on PS3 and maybe even on PS4. Yeah. But I mean, that's about it. That's the last thing.
But we need a new one, and preferably Naughty Dog makes it. Because, well,
maybe, but like Naughty Dog isn't gonna make anything besides The Last of Us.
Yeah,
they're
busy.
Not.
They're busy reshipping me the same game.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to remake the second one for
Dude,
2 or 3
Naughty
years.
Dog's on their fucking their like Skyrim arc. You just re-release the same shit over and over.
Todd Howard's proud.
Dude, he's like, oh, they finally learned from me. If you make a good game, you just keep releasing it. That's all you need to do.
How many versions of Skyrim are there?
Oh,
that's
I
like
know, dude.
We can count that.
You can't count
uncountable.
It cannot compute, kind of thing.
All right. I guess I'll throw another one out. I mean, this is like a complete change of pace, and they are working on the game. I just hope it's not dog, and that's the new NCAA football. Because I used to love NCAA football as a kid. And then they ran into issues with the licensing for all the schools, so it just got shut down. And they're working on a new one, but I have a feeling it's going to be terrible because all the Madden games are terrible.
It's just going to be a Madden clone, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think it's going to end up bad, and I'm going to be really sad. But having a good NCAA game would be so much fun because it was just so fun to like take a school and fucking like grind your way and like go to the national championship with some dog shit program. I don't know. It was pretty fun.
What was the difference?
I used to play that a bunch back in like 2000. Oh gosh, this must have been like 7 or 8 or something like that. Probably like 2008, 2009, something like that. And I played it a bunch back then. I think of like UNLV, and I just made it like the most like baller freaking team possible.
But like, what was the difference between like the NCAA game that you loved and that year's Madden? Like, cause like when I look at them, they just look the same to me. It's just different teams.
Yeah, it's essentially what they are. The big difference is just like it's college. There's some minor rule differences between college and pro football and stuff like that. And there's just like and then like you couldn't use any of the player like names obviously because of like they're just kids. So there's like minor differences, but essentially it's the same game, yeah. But it just kind of hits a little different, you know. It's kind of like why people like I don't know, kind of like Halo 2 compared to Halo 3, or Halo 3 was just kind of like an evolution of 2, you know, but like, it was good.
I mean, the franchise mode is
in
like...
NCAA, your team is actually in the game, you know.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of NFL teams. There's a ton of college teams. So if you live in a state, you have a team in the game for the most part.
Oh, right.
But
too. Like so.
The main thing to me is just like the franchise mode's totally different because like your franchise mode in a Madden game is just like an NFL thing, whereas like in the NCAA games you had like recruiting and you know you could like do all this, so it was like a different like vibe. But the gameplay is pretty similar. I mean, there were differences, just a little bit, just because they're made by different companies or like different teams, obviously. But one like gameplay difference that was like kind of notable, and it would probably be less notable now because football has changed, but back then the game of college football was a lot different than the NFL style. So you had like what I found more fun, like you had a lot more like option football and and more wacky like trick play type stuff you could do in NCAA football, whereas like Madden was just purely like pro style football. But yeah,
Right.
that's mine. All right, someone go next.
I wanted to see a new Max Payne game.
Yeah, that'd be fun
I don't know why they went away because Max Payne 3 wasn't that bad.
because it doesn't sell like GTA.
When was Max Payne 3?
2012. So it's been 11 years since.
Been a little bit.
And I don't think Max Payne 3 was like the death of the franchise. It was a good game. I don't know. I think it was like decently received too and stuff, and nominated for Game of the Year that day. I don't know why we never, because it like has a fun mechanic that no other game does. Like the slow down time thing was like super fun. I don't know what we're.
I think
Well, I mean,
similar.
isn't it kind of good? It ended on a high note instead of
Maybe.
Going to shit like a lot.
I mean,
of
maybe, but I mean, just make it better, make a good game.
Yeah,
like
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just do it right.
Yeah, just do it right. Can't be impossible. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we never saw a Max Payne game again, or well, we never even saw like a remake of the first one or something. Because like, I don't know. There's
you
just
have
3
to-
Max Payne games and we never saw
Just
them.
make a good game. I've played good games. Just do that.
Yeah, it's easy.
You have to think though, Rockstar doesn't put out that much these days. Like they really only put out like
Well,
GTA 5, the new Red Dead,
no,
and then
it's not Rockstar. Rockstar owns it, but Remedy Entertainment or like co-owns it.
but
So
when
like
they
Rockstar publishes it and funds it, but
Okay.
like it's a separate studio making
oh,
it.
but
and
Remedy does like
owning-
control and stuff now, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yep. they
Okay.
got control.
Yeah.
So could they?
And they're
They
working on a
could.
second one.
They
I
could
think.
do it, and then they'd have to publish it through Rockstar.
I think so.
Huh.
I think that's how the rights are lined up.
Oh well, that could be part of it right there. That might be
Maybe.
why it hasn't come out.
Well, no, they definitely have the rights to release it. I don't know. What's the holdup?
Yeah, I mean Max Payne was fun. I enjoyed it back in the day. People always say the multiplayer in Max Payne 3 was fun. I never played it though.
I don't remember the multiplayer.
It's been like a topic right now, like whole other podcasts. It's just like single player, multiplayer games that actually ended up being good.
That's true. There's so many.
Yeah, like didn't we talk about one on the other, like the
Bioshock. Yeah, I didn't even know that had multiplayer.
Bioshock 2 is so
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
man. It's one of the best
Smoke
experiences.
said there's a remake of the first Max Payne coming.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
that's
shit,
good.
well,
really?
there you go.
That's
Yeah.
like the one that's the one that's the only one I ever played back on the PS2.
Okay, then we'll be in the same boat as Dead Space though, where they should still make a new game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I'm not a fan of this whole like remaking the first game. Like you mentioned, Dead Space, Max Payne, Splinter Cell's doing that as well. I've wanted a new Splinter Cell game for so long, and they're just remaking the first one. Like,
Yeah, that reminds me.
don't
Did
like
they?
It
Did they
depends on the
actually?
quality of the
Did they
remake.
announce that they're remaking the first one? I
Yeah,
just saw the teaser.
they had already announced it. So when
Yeah,
like
back
they
in,
like,
posted
November.
that tweet the other day, I feel like they were just hinting at the remake or something.
Oh,
I didn't think
okay.
it was anything
Yeah.
new. I think that's all that was. But yeah,
No.
Splinter Cell is a game I would love a new game for.
Actually, I think when I was talking about Dead Space, I think I confused that with Splinter Cell because I was doing research
They're
for like.
so different, Kevin.
I mean, they're basically the same.
I mean,
thing.
like, 'cause-
Yeah, that's
okay,
it's
well,
like
maybe
the
it's
time
not
we
really
shoot
going.
Agent.
man. Like,
It's
I
like the
think
time I confused StarCraft with fucking Animal Crossing. I don't know.
saying that they were looking to. They're both having remakes come out, and like
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's because I thought that I think Ubisoft was looking to probably revamp or rejuvenate the Splinter Cell franchise
Yeah.
with like a remake of Splinter Cell 1, which was a fantastic game. I played on the Xbox original. It was amazing. So I'm actually I know I am not for really usually I'm not for remakes, but this I'm like this would actually be kind of sick to play, especially since it's been so long. It's been like
I mean,
20 years.
There's a difference between remastered and remake. Remasters are usually lazy, and remakes can be really good. But remakes can also be shit. But like,
yeah,
if it's a remake, I have more faith. Yeah,
Well-
like a reboot, like that, a spiritual reboot, that's a whole nother fucking can of worms. But like Resident Evil 2 remake was very good, like top tier good, and if they can hit that with Max Payne 1
I
remake or Splinter Cell remake, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
I like remakes. I think it's cool to take old games that were good and people like them, and to take like what people liked about those games and modernize them a bit, and like reuse content and ideas that you haven't. Like when was like last time you played the fucking original Splinter Cell, right? Like if you play the remake today, it's gonna feel like a brand new game, right? Remasters are kind of mid, especially because some of them suck. So that's different. But like remakes usually feel like a new experience. You just like you get the nostalgia of like maybe the story's similar, or like the characters are the same, or the gameplay style is similar, right?
Yeah, like I'm the complete opposite, honestly. Like I really don't like reboots. Like when you already have like established characters and an established story, and that is good. Like I don't like you taking those characters and then just doing a new story with them. That's like the reason I haven't played Modern Warfare 2019 or the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, because I don't like that. It's using characters from the original Modern Warfare games in a new story. I'm not a fan of that. But sometimes I like reboots, like Doom 2016. Like, the first Doom I never played. It's old, it's really dated, and like the new Doom is, badass. So, what is it?
Hitman, the Hitman reboot.
Oh yeah, the Hitman reboot.
It's a very, very good, and it uses like story points and characters from the original games too.
For me, people who made Hitman are making a new James Bond game, which I am genuinely very
excited
about.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting.
But if you haven't played 2019 campaign, I'm just saying play. It's one of my favorite COD campaigns. It's really good, really really good. Especially the mission Clean House. Oh, it's like I never played a mission like that before.
I didn't play it. I just remember the meme where you can.
What?
No, it's not like no Russia. No Russia. That's coming.
Shit, dude, I can't wait. There's no way a games company will ever put out a mission like that again.
It's so crazy that even existed. Like it's just insane to think about.
The fact that they had to give you like a German version and you could just skip it.
The German version didn't have it.
Oh shit, dude.
Like it was just not a thing you could do.
And the game was just straight up banned in Russia.
Yeah, but that's like a communist country.
All right. Nifty's asking what are our thoughts on the reboot of Marathon. I mean, we don't really know anything about it, but I hope it's good.
We don't know if that's real. Yeah,
right,
that was
real. No, that's true. It's also a rumor, but
and it's an extraction shooter, so immediately low expectations.
Unrelated to whether or not it's Marathon, because they've confirmed Bungie is working on like IP that isn't Destiny. I just want to see Bungie make some shit, man. Like, whatever your opinion of Destiny is, Bungie makes good fucking video games, and they always have. Yeah. And so I am excited to see Bungie put something out that I want to play again. Because don't get me wrong, Destiny's a good game, but like, I can't get into the 17th expansion of Destiny 2.
I mean, it's like an MMO. It's just like the same.
Yeah, rough jumping into it.
It has those issues. Like
Destiny's good, but not Halo good.
Yeah, I mean it's a different type of game.
Playing the multiplayer in Destiny 2 is basically like you're just like playing Super Fiesta is your mode.
Fuck Destiny PvP. I'll go on record at that, dude. Destiny PvP sucks ass. It's so badly balanced.
I played it the other day,
and they want it to be that way. They don't want it to be balanced.
It's not a focus,
Yeah,
like it was more balanced at the launch of Destiny 2, and that's when I really liked it. But then
there was less guns, I guess.
Destiny 2. I was thinking Destiny 1. You said launch because like remember Destiny 1 launch? You had like the was it the light rifle things that shoot like electrical shots that just like you could just hit scan people across the map like one shot them. It was just like that for like the first 6 months of the game. I was like, sheesh.
Yeah, well, and then the Vault of Glass had a sniper, Predator's Revenge, which was like the most broken sniper in any video game ever to me. Like, it's the easiest thing to hit headshots with. Like, you're basically a pro player. Like,
here's the thing.
I love that sniper.
With MMO games, though, like with MMO games, the PvP is never like a big focus. It's always like a niche.
Yeah,
like I mean, WoW, people do, and I mean,
WoW PvP is always fucked. Like the balance is always terrible.
Right, but like there's people that like it, and like it's a very niche. And I think Destiny just suffers from those issues that like MMO suffer from. Like obviously, like the balancing is impossible, and also like people like Arash who do not want to play like the fucking 16 expansions releasing every other year. But I mean, I think it's a good MMO.
Yeah, no, Destiny is a good game. It's hard to like hop back in when you haven't played one of those games in a long time because they like as those games exist, just like more and more and more mechanics get thrown on top of the base game, and so it's always like a huge like time sink to try and get back into an MMO that you've stopped playing. And I mean that's mostly why
usually. When the new DLC releases, that's usually the best point to do it. I guess that's where most people do it. Play like the first season or first month of a new DLC and then fall off.
Yeah. All right, let's do.
It's just like MMO cycle.
That's what I tried to do with the Witch Queen DLC, and all I did end up doing was just playing through the story, and I never got back into it.
I mean, that's really it.
So.
Yeah.
I got like half.
I feel like it's a lot of people as well. Yeah, but you fucking dude. Playing the Destiny 2 Witch Queen campaign with Mirage was one of the worst gaming experiences I've ever had. Because this dude fucking insists on playing on the hardest difficulty, which is literally impossible because we do not have the fucking gear. It was made to be replayed after you fucking grinded light levels, but he insisted on playing it, so we're stuck at this boss fight for 2 hours, and then he just never came back to play it again. He refused to lower the difficulty.
Okay, listen. So I was forcing us to play it on Legendary because I was going to make a video out of it, and that video never came out, and I never got past that boss. So, who is the real winner in this scenario?
Bungie for taking us $60.
That's true, dude.
I mean, that you're picking up Lightfall then is what you're saying?
Sure, why not?
Yes, I mean, you will. I can tell you will.
I'll play it. Fuck it. I might play it. I think I learned my lesson. I'm just gonna play on normal difficulty this time. And
also, the balancing for Legendary fucking sucked.
No, dude, everything was so. It was
the first time they did
spongy.
it. Yeah, and they just turned up the health. Like that was the adjustment. It was just bigger health, nothing like else.
Yeah, that was.
But I mean, it was the first time they even offered Legendary. It was just like an experiment type thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
For sure. All right, we've been going for a smidge. Why don't we do one more franchise someone wants to see back? I don't care who goes, and then we'll close out the pod. Someone throw out a game.
Call of Duty comeback. It's been down for too long.
Okay. Calm down. Okay, and this is weird because there was only one game, I think, but Sleeping Dogs.
Oh shit, dude!
It was a very good GTA type game, and we've only had one game, and I don't think there's ever like any intention of making a second one or anything.
Isn't the story behind Sleeping Dogs was it was supposed to be True Crime Tokyo, and for whatever reason they just changed the name?
Maybe.
I thought there was like some weird story behind it because I believe it was made by the same people that made the True Crime games. If you ever played those,
right? But that was under Activision, I think, and then they moved over to Square Enix.
Oh, so maybe that was part of it too. They like
yeah. I think they moved to publishers or something. But like, I mean, Sleeping Dogs was a great game, and it was like probably one of the best GTA type games I've ever played. Besides maybe Saints Row, right? But I did actually like Sleeping Dogs better than Saints Row. So I don't know. And also we know Saints Row is fucking in the shitter now.
Yeah.
And GTA has no competition.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a good time to release Sleeping Dogs or something like that again. But I mean, there's only been one game, so it's hard to like call it a franchise or like even
There's only ever one game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just made one and then just never did it again.
Maybe it had DLC and there was like a definitive edition or something, but like that's
like stuff like that.
That was all.
No, Sleeping Dogs.
And I think
cool
they canceled the sequel too, but like I don't know why.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's cool because it's like it's GTA but kind of like more kung fu focused, right? Whereas like when you play a lot of GTA clones, it's just GTA. Whereas like this game actually like felt very unique because even Saints Row, I mean,
had
Saints
a cool
Row
story.
Got wackier and wackier, which made it its own thing. But like the original Saints Row is kind of just GTA with more side content, right? But all right, cool.
But I mean, we'll see. I'm reading up on Sleeping Dogs now, and there was a canceled sequel, then there was a canceled MMO spin-off, and then they sold movie rights in 2017. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Right? All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna do it. Before we leave, why don't we all tell people what we'll be up to? Jared, what are you up to these days over the next couple weeks?
A lot of Dead Space videos. That's pretty much what you can expect. And that's about it for now.
All right, Kevin.
I'm going big on the shorts game this year in 2023. but not just Halo. I'm doing a mix of just like whatever I think is fun or interesting with games, and just making a short about it. So I've been doing like High on Life. I've done some Call of Duty. I did, of course, Halo, Mass Effect. I've done a couple on as well, and just trying to hit that up a bit more and see how it plays out for the channel. So if you want, that's a way to kind of get a little more variety involved with the channel rather than just being like Halo, 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 and then some Halo. But but yeah, of course I'll be doing the Halo news and long form stuff. This year I'm gonna try to focus a little bit more on like a little more evergreen, unique, more just like having fun with games kind of content. Well, on top of doing the news stuff as always. But yeah, Halo and shorts. So check it out if you're bored.
Same old, same old. We'll be launching a new project this month, so look out for that new channel.
Announce it now.
It'll just be different video or different topics that we have interest in that we feel like we can't put on Rocket Sloth, but we want to make high quality videos of.
Okay.
So one video I've already done is about Shadow the Hedgehog and his rise and fall, I guess. Stuff like that.
People always like a success and a failure.
So we will. We will launch the channel with 3 videos. I think we're aiming for the 21st.
Oh, cool.
It will be on the old podcast channel. So, I think.
Hey, I'm on that channel. That's a great channel. I actually stumbled into it the other day, Luke. The podcast I did with you guys is the least views it ever had. So,
yeah,
I'm proud of myself.
You're not a crowd puller.
Yeah, I'm not. Unfortunate. All right, Pop Q, what are you up to this year? Or next couple weeks, not this year?
I haven't been doing much recently, but things are going to pick up soon, and the plan is to do like single player content, playthroughs of games that I've never played before, maybe a little bit of reaction content. I don't really know, but we're going to mix things up and probably trickle in a little bit of Halo content here and there. So that's the plan going forward, and the live streams. I think I'm gonna get back on that too.
Good.
So.
Nifty in chat says you should start streaming again. So this is
That's
perfect.
all that. Yeah, I will be streaming more.
Perfect. All right. I think that's going to do it for the podcast. I'll just be shutting down all social media. So I don't exist anymore. Too many Twitter artists abused me yesterday. So unfortunately, it took a toll on me. So I'm out.
Tragic.
Yeah. It's tragic indeed.
Well, yeah, it's been a good run, dude. Rest in peace.
All right. That's going to do it, everyone.